17 here with Twiddles on my shoulder. Twiddles, the world, Twiddles. And I wanted to talk about this. I talked a little bit about it during a live stream, but it's the whole toy industry insiders, Marvel planning is to race swap on the X-Men and so forth and so on. I wanted to see the actual report to get an idea of what was going on so I could actually speak to it rather than the actual facts rather than the emotion of it. Excuse me. Just to continue the article, get it going here. Disney is one of the most beloved franchises, blah, blah, blah. Developing the merchandise around movies and shows is a massive group of industries. It involves games, toys, clothing, and more, yada, yada. As companies prepare to release a multi-million-dollar entry in a franchise, years of hard work have already begun behind the scenes. Focus groups are assembled. Researchers pore over analytics. Design docs and NDAs are passed around with executives of partner companies as they prepare a 12-month job of secondary and tertiary markets surrounding an entertainment release. All right. Okay. We understand that. That happens. Says, according to an insider, his connections with the international market contacts, Disney Marvel Entertainment is hard at work with their partners developing the future of X-Men action figures. Assorted toys, t-shirt, coffee mugs, you name it. It's time for a new X-Men brand of the MCU umbrella, even though for now the X-Men name remains, sorry, Victoria Alonso. While we've already heard that Marvel is testing the vices that some of the characters will retain, smoking, womanizing, etc., etc., we're now getting the latest rumor that Disney wants to race swap various X-Men. We already know about Rogue. Everybody's saying Kiki Palmer would be a good... And you know what? She would. In all honesty, she'd be an awesome Rogue. My problem is there's no narrative reason to do it. There's a lot of... I mean, we've been through this before. There's a lot of characters. Let's go. All they care about is no, no, no. We want the shortcut. You race swap character like Namor, and it's you can't create your own underwater black guy or Mexican guy or whatever they want to do because Namor is already famous. Aquaman's already famous. It'd be easier just to race swap Aquaman as they have done, by the way, or at least they tried to do. Unsuccessfully, by the way. All righty. So let's see. In effect, they want to reduce the number of Caucasian characters. And that's the big problem. They are doing this for no narrative reason, and it's literally to cut down on white people. It is done for racist reasons. They'll never see it, of course. They'll never see it that way. That's just the way the cookie crumbles as far as modern Hollywood is concerned. But it is. It's done for racist reasons. Here's verbatim the message sent to us from our toy expert, whose identity we have confirmed and corroborated, but who will remain anonymous on this site to protect their career. Right now, a big question, this is the first point. Right now, a big question is how much race swapping to include. The thinking is apparently that race swaps will be more accepted if the incoming swapped in actor is a bigger name, with the thinking that the more marquee the name, the harder it is for fans to object and criticize. Look, I get it. I don't want to race swap Batman, but you put in Idris Elba, and okay, maybe we're talking about something. I get where they're coming from as far as that, but it's one thing to do it, and it's another thing to know they're doing it. Quick note on the higher price talent and budgets. Disney are looking at reining in budgets somewhat at a minimum, setting caps. The problem is that as projected actor salaries are planned to increase, there would be less left in the total budget for production. Remember that part of the winning formula per Disney going forward is cameos. Those add salary pressure, even if included in actors' contracts, meaning the pay is already built in. All right. Ethereal saying they're already divorced. Exactly. Yes, they are. That's it. They race and gender swap characters to use as shields. I see that. They don't want to do the work and either create a new checkbox character or build up the... Yeah, that's exactly it. They know they've got the name. Dominic saying instead of race swapping established characters, bring in existing characters. Wouldn't we all love that? Seriously. We're all geeks. We're all comic fans. We want to see more characters on screen done right. And it doesn't matter. Bring in the black guys, bring in the Mexican guys, bring in whatever. Hey, bring in the women. Yeah, that's a whole other story. I've got to come out. I got to make a video on the MCU. I still think they should have cast a blonde for Namor, maybe the Aquaman. I know, right? That would have kind of been a monkey in the wrench there. It's kind of funny that the villain of the Aquaman movie looks more like Aquaman than Aquaman did. All righty, so let's see. Where was I? Remember that the part of the winning formula per Disney is going forward is cameos. Those add salary pressure, even if including in an actor's contract. Also, actor salaries are not subject to the various production subsidies that various states offer, as well as financing plays for different accounting posts. Well, the way that Disney can avoid that is to go back to original Marvel. We were talking about this yesterday. And hire unknown actors. Yeah, they tend to do it as like a casting stunt now. Sometimes. Are you just going to cause a big old mess? He likes to peel the bottles. So there you go. If it keeps them quiet, I'm fine with it. Let's see. Also, special effects needs dollar boost. So that's also pressure of total budgets. Okay, I need to talk to another guy to get more, but select Fox Avengers will be included as bait and as jobbers for new Disney to X-Men. You know how many fans are continually calling out Disney for pulling bait and switches all over the place? Something I agree with, by the way. And focus groups say it's wearing very thin with even diehards who wanted to see a Doctor Strange movie be about Doctor Strange, but of course it was about America Chavez. Okay, back to the bait. Well, that's apparently set to continue with a strong faction at Marvel calling for better bait. Apparently, that is part of their oh-so-genius solution. The Fox actors are considering top-notch bait. At first glance, this better bait, when it rolls out, will likely be falsely interpreted by some fans as Disney listening to the fans. It's not. It's a cynical money play, which also has a component to shut up those manufacturing licensed products. See, we gave you a white male hero for a few minutes. So what are you complaining about? And that's actually how the comic book industry is playing it now. Well, you have decades of Clint Barton. Now you get Kate Bishop. Well, you're sexist for not wanting it. All righty. So let's see. Continuing with the cynicism, part 4. The baiting with character actor stunts aims to also sell the characters, which are Disney's real interest. In pro wrestling, it's called jobbing, where an established big name who pops with fans is used to put over, sell, or at least make more palatable a new character the wrestling promotion wants to push. Watch for this to get even more glaring going forward. Like, say, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm doing my little tightrope walking across the World Trade Center there. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back to the 70s. And I'm going to say, what if we make a Black Panther movie, only it's not about Black Panther. It's about Namor. But, hold on. I know he's a white guy. But here's the thing. We can make him Mexican. How about that? It seems that's exactly what's going to go on with the Black Panther movie. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But that does tend to be what's going on. Okay, you're lucky. I thought if you shat on me, I'm going to shit on you, okay? That's the deal. You get that? That's the deal. All righty. Let's see. How to play Alphabet is also being mapped out for X-Men, which is, at least as of 2 weeks ago, still being referred to as X-Men. They are working hard at trying to find a palatable to them balance between the minimum property authenticity to ensure commercial success of their main focus, being reflective of not only today's society, but also the society of tomorrow. By the way, okay, I want to put not a pin, more like I just want to squash this whole thing. We're looking to make movies more like society is today. Bullshit. Bullshit. You want to overrepresent. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to overrepresent. What you're representing is not the world today, but Twitter yesterday. You're not even doing an up-to-date Twitter when you're doing these movies. Okay, so let's see. One Marvel midline creative referred to this as unfortunate because that means having white men be more present than we want to. Huh? I'm sorry, kids, but sexism and racism are sexism and racism no matter how you try to code it up. It's not that they have all-female group, it's that they write them so badly. Exactly. One of the things I said yesterday was, and I get it, Gary's got himself a great saying. It sounds good, the MCU, but it really does make it sound like what they are against are women in the MCU. But the truth is no. Nobody's against women in the MCU. We love it. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if they said, hey, we're making a Black Widow movie or a Captain Marvel movie or Ms. Marvel, as it would have been, we would have been over the moon. If they had said, you know what, we want to create a new Ms. Marvel character and we're going to give Captain Marvel to Carol Danvers and we're going to create this whole new character, we would have been absolutely ecstatic. Awesome. Marvel content. Nowadays, like I said, be careful what you wish for. That's right, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, anyway. Let's see. I've not heard of any gender swaps, though that doesn't mean they aren't thinking of it. The unfortunate thing is the property doesn't need any race or gender swaps. It's already there. Alphabet, focus groups, and we've dug indicate that the large majority don't want any of this in their superhero entertainment. Facts. Sorry. Not sorry. Not sorry at all. Yes, the above is from the second and third removed sources at Disney, but 3 of them have said that one main objective is to, quote unquote, continue to move on to transit from white men, even if this means leaving money on the table. I thought you'd want to hear it. They know that. Unfortunately, white men are the money in the whole revenue stream chain, which includes multiple viewings, more merch at a higher price point, secondary media spends, etc. We want to give the minimum possible needed to get the most that we can out of them. We'll have to throw them a couple of bones. The parks, the boats, and football pay the bills. And then it says, stay tuned. There's more to this message that we will be sharing tomorrow in the edition. Okay, but there you go. That's the main thing. Did they ever share it out? I do not know. I will look for this. But it's racist. It's racism. It's flat out racism. We just want to get, not only do we want to get rid of white men, but we only want to get enough that they'll still stick around and give us their money. That's the whole premise there. That's the whole freaking premise. It's been that way forever and a day. I'm going to remind a lot of you, look, you've got Maranya here. And at one point in time, she was a unicorn. She was a woman who loved comics in the 1970s, the 1980s. And yes, there were women who liked comics, but it was a rare thing to see in the comic shop. One thing I absolutely hate is when I hear any of these idiots, any of these twidiots come out and they say stuff like, oh, you kept women out of comics all this time. Fuck you. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. As a matter of fact, we would have loved for some of the girls we liked to have been into comics. But no, actually, we got picked on. Some people tried to beat us up. Some people succeeded. But we got put down. And there was no way, shape, or hell, or for the most part, I should say. Once again, there's always the unicorns. But for the most part, if you ever used your knowledge about Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, ElfQuest, or comic books to try to pick up a girl in high school or junior high, you would have been taken down. So don't give me any of this crap. Don't give me any of the bullshit that I'll say. We kept these people popular. We kept these characters popular. Not just the white kids. There's always, and I hate that there's stupid people out there that wouldn't understand. I'm not just talking about white people, but I am talking about geeks. Talk about the people who probably carried 2 backpacks, one filled with the comics and one filled with the school books. And we kept it. And they seem to be the people that these people, that the movie companies, the Hollywood, has less respect for than any. One thing that they can be guaranteed on, for all the bitching, for all the complaining, for all of any of it, the ones that they can guarantee that are going to be there on the day Black Panther opens are the comic book geeks, and they don't respect a fucking thing about it. Sorry about the rant there, guys. Let me get some comments here. Reminds me of the Alphabet Squadron Star Wars novel. Correction, the audience here isn't against women in the MCU. We're against the lousy rat. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, the title MCU makes it seem like it's just women that you're against. Because let's face it, nobody's against a She-Hulk movie. If it was, or a She-Hulk TV show, if it was written well, then we would be all. How about, if like if She-Hulk was written like Scrubs, but for lawyers? Yeah, sounds good. Or a She-Hulk night court kind of thing. Richard Meyer is always talking about how Europeans are always surprised when they come to the U.S. and it isn't consistently diverse as the movies show them. Yeah. Hey, neighborhood's a neighborhood. Come to my neighborhood, man. We are very, as a matter of fact. I know me and my neighbor right here, we're white, but next door, there's a Colombian family. Across the street is Filipino. About 3 doors down, we have a black family. We've got the entire spectrum, multiples, all the way up and down my particular street. Florida's like that. Let's see. Technically, Mystique by herself can be all female. Hey, that's true. This article is a bunch of crap. It's pandering to morons who believe it. Well, the article is calling out the people who are pandering to morons who believe it. Let's see. It was rare that women like me were in comic book shops, but I never got any hate. No. I think I told the story of this young lady, and you want to talk about fetishizing somebody. I met this young lady. She dressed like the Joker whenever she came, like Jack Nicholson's Joker, whenever she went to the comic shop. And I thought that was pretty cool. And talked to her. Thought she was really cute, pretty girl. And I met her out of the comic shop. She was in normal clothes, and I wasn't as attracted to her. She was still pretty. I was like, yeah, kind of. Let's see. Remember when Barnes & Noble race swapped characters on book covers instead of promoting black authors? No, not even a little bit. Yeah. Hey, Joe, what's up? Facts don't care about your feelings. Nobody is against diversity and representation. However, what we do take issue is professionalism and fake geeks, not to mention politicization from both sides. Young Ripa is going to get all triggered over this article. I'm pretty sure Jack Nicholson was the best Joker, and nobody could change my mind. And why would you want to? Seriously. I mean, yeah, hey, I could tell you I disagree. I thought that I'm probably in a long line of Heath Ledger lovers on that one. But hey, if Jack Nicholson's your Joker, you do you, man. Seriously. I don't see why anybody would be like, oh, I got to change his mind. That's so wrong. I'm mad about stuff now. I don't know. I wanted to go over that article. It just... It's ignorant, and it kind of ticks me off because we're seeing behind the curtain. Okay, we know what they're doing. We knew anyway. The bait and switch. Okay, tell us it's a Loki story and it's really about female Loki. She's got the arc. Fine, I get it. I still say Hawkeye wasn't a bait and switch because they were announcing months on end that they were going to be doing what they did. But now we know, and it's out there. So it's up to us to fall for it. Seriously. Mark Hamill, well, okay, yeah. As far as the animated is concerned, if you're talking about live action, I can see. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What's going on? What's going on, little birdie? Get the way he's looking. You caught eye of something. Is there something on the hat? What are you looking at? Anywho, Nicholson was the gold standard. Even Hamill revered him. Let's see. For me, it was the hand buzzer and the Bob Gunn scene. Actually, Bob Gunn, blam. Apparently, he is best friends with the Bob actor, the guy who played. Jack Nicholson is the reason why that guy's in the movie. He says, "Hey, you want to come and be my henchman?" And the guy said, "Yeah." So there you go. If the Three Jokers was made into a movie, which actors would you choose to be those three Jokers, whether they are living or dead? You know what? If we're going to do it, let's do it. Three Jokers: Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, and Heath Ledger. Considering we're raising the dead for this dream project, just do it. It's right there. Let's get Cesar Romero and Heath Ledger brought back to life with Jack Nicholson. Let's see. If I were doing the same today, who would I put up there? For the Clown Prince of Crime, for the original Joker, I would actually probably Ryan Reynolds. Watch a movie called The Voice. He plays a serial killer, and I think he would do very well. And I think he would be able to be sinister as well as funny when needed to be. Then the middle guy, the Joker, the jokester Joker. And I know it almost seems like Ryan Reynolds would be that part, but I would want somebody a little bit more animated as far as all of that's concerned. Somebody who kind of moves around a lot. And I know this will seem weird because I think if you're going to cast a really good Joker, sure, you can. Obviously, Heath Ledger's an awesome actor, an awesome dramatic actor, and he worked out. But I think I would go comedians on some of them. And for the jump around just bonkers Joker, I would go with, goodness gracious, what's his name? Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was an Adam Sandberg. I actually think he would do well on that one. And as far as just a flat out murderous Joker, that's a little bit different. I would want somebody a little bit more menacing, obviously. Somebody who has got some chops. Because this is the guy who I would, of course, he would have to be fun. You would have to be able to break bad like that, but you would also want somebody who could say a lot just by standing and looking. When I think of a murderous killing, I would think of somebody who could say a lot just by looking at you. Oh, Skarsgård, the guy who played Pennywise, he proved he could do a scary clown. Like, yeah, so there you go. That would be my three living Jokers. Tom Welling is whiny Superman. If you could choose actors to play Magneto and Professor X, which actors would you want? That's actually a pretty rough one. I know, of course, I've got the race swapped on the thumbnail here. Who would I want for, or what time period are we talking? What time period are we talking about here? Because if we're talking about 40s and 50s Magneto, and Magneto and Charles Xavier, or are we talking about young Charles Xavier like you had Fassbender and all that? Oh, goodness, that's a hard question. I would have to think about that. I'm sorry I can't answer it right off the top of my head yet. All the DC shows are getting canceled. It seems get woke, go broke, except for Stargirl wasn't woke. Why Super? Yeah, I hope Superman's good. But yeah, why stop? What are you doing? Why are you turning your head like that? Yeah, MCU disrespecting its non-white male characters by doing this. Exactly. Hamilton, Nicholson, and Phoenix, says Jim Sorensen. Good call. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer to that, Jared Leto. Let's see. Also, has anybody seen the Pacemaker cartoon? I haven't seen the cartoon. Oh, wait. Yes, the Peacemaker. Oh, yeah, that was part of that last series with Blue Beetle and the House of Secrets or something. That was actually pretty cool. That was pretty cool. What is sometimes bothersome is when comics are taken seriously as a medium in academia. Academics are either ignorant or doing the same song and dance as those who are just pandering this nonsense. It is. And guys, just jumping in. Yeah, we already talked about the article and everything. John Cena's Peacemaker is good. Yep. Stargirl would find a home in HB. I hope so. They said they're canceling it though. And that's too bad. I enjoy that show. I think it's a lot of fun. You okay? What's up? He's all puffy. See, when they're puffy and they almost look hairy like that, they're relaxed. He just got unrelaxed though, and now he's trying to eat my hand. So how about you relax again? Head in the hole. Head in the hole. Good boy. Good boy. Head in the hole. Put the head in the hole. No? Okay. Peacemaker, the new superhero. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I dug that show. It was pretty cool. Okay, there he goes. See, he's getting all puffy again. That means he's relaxing. He's just kind of chilling out. And then if he turns his head around, he'll bury it within his back feathers. That's when he goes to sleep. Twiddles agrees with me in regards to woke DC shows, says Christopher Barker. Yeah, okay. Like he goes from running faster than sound to not being able to beat a guy with a knife. Wait, what? Oh, is that the Flash? Yeah, I noticed, by the way, that's a case. Super speed, if it's done right, should be hard to write because, and I guess this is why he's always going up against super speedsters, because you're faster than everybody else. Like, even in the comics, oh, I've got this ice gun. Before he could shoot it, Flash can stop him. So, yeah. It does. Super speed is hard to write if you're doing it right. On the Stargirl show, how do you like the team version of the Justice Society? The only one I wish to see is Dr. Fate and Green Lantern, Hawkman, and Hawkgirl. I think it's fine. I mean, it's set up right away exactly what we're getting. We're not getting Justice League Classic. This is the new version. The kids are taking up the mantle because of what happened to the parents and all that kind of stuff. So I was fine with it. This is the way we're going. And I think they've been doing them well. I think they've been respecting, like they don't put down the old in order to prop up the new. When Starman shows up, everybody reveres him. And I kind of like that. I do like the fact that they've just they just upgraded one of the characters in the last episode. They've been treating them like kids, not like adults with a teen at their name, like in all honesty Chris Claremont's X-Men did. Overall, yeah, I've been enjoying Stargirl. I think they do the characters very well. CW is canceling everything, including Who's Line, and yeah. Did you guys see Kevin Smith? Excuse me. Kevin Smith was talking on one of his podcasts, and he said, yeah, this explains something, because he was in talks to write a segment for a show they were going to do for HBO Max. It's going to be like a House of Secrets kind of thing. And it was going to highlight, or it's going to be Strange Adventures, and it was going to highlight a different character with every episode, or every 2 episodes if they wanted to do a continuing story. And he mentioned how they were going to do John Constantine and Plastic Man and so forth, just to introduce new characters of the DCU. I think that's brilliant. I think that's brilliant, because if one hits, now you know to put an animated series or a TV show or something and prop up that character. Don't say mantle. It's Eric July's trigger word. He puts himself in a straitjacket. What did I say as far as Oh, well, I don't think that Eric July is watching my show for some reason, but I don't know. Winchester and every other show not in the can. The CW sale has become official, says Jim Sorensen. Okay. Brainwave Jr. survived. He would have served as a bridge between the new JSA and the Infinity Inc. I think that would have been cool. I like the fact that, Stargirl's brother and his friend are going around calling themselves the Young All-Stars. After what Kevin Smith did to He-Man, I'm not very optimistic about any show he does. I've noticed this is a common emotion towards him, or a thought towards him. The problem is I've seen it work retroactively as well. Kevin Smith was never interesting or good because I don't like what he's doing now. I don't give a shit about He-Man, to tell you the truth. I never did. I wouldn't even cared anything about the modern day He-Man if it wasn't for Kevin Smith saying, "Hey, I'm doing He-Man." All right, well, let me check it out. I never watched it. He-Man was after my cartoon time, is like when I was making that transition to, okay, now I got to think about cars and girls, all that kind of, yeah. That lasted about 2 years before I was like, screw that. I want to read my comics. James Gunn pretty much said himself he was giving voice back to the fans. I don't know what it means, but I saw that tweet where they said release the error cut. And hopefully that's going to be released. Hopefully James Gunn can put a little clout in there and get that thing released. I want to see it. I want to watch Batgirl, though. I want to see how that turned out. I was hoping that if whoever went to that final showing before they burned the prints would have recorded something. Let's see. Jakib is captured well as Stargirl. I also dig Seth Green as the Thunderbolt. Yeah, he's a bit better than James Gaffigan, I think his name was. Dr. Midnight wasn't even a race swap. The first new Dr. Midnight was a black woman that got killed by Dr. Phosphorus. Hey, yeah, there you go. And I enjoy it. I like it. I actually like her character. I like her character because she was the intellectual. You know, she up until, well, I'll tell you what, she was the one that got upgraded. But up until recently, she was the information. And I think that's something that teams are missing now. You know, Batman used to care about that for the Justice League. We need brains on the team. Of course, we've got bronze. But we've got Superman. We got Wonder Woman. We need brains as well. And he used to push for people like Huntress and Nightwing and so forth to be on the JLA. Yeah. Didn't read his comic or anything like that, though, just the show. What are we talking about there? I was poor, so I watched a lot of old He-Man reruns. Okay. Yeah, it just never was something. My brother, however, he's 6 years younger than I am. He was way into He-Man when it came out. Same with Transformers. I don't care. I mean, I watched the movies when they came out. They sucked. But yeah, I didn't care about the Transformers, so I don't know. Another dang alternate cut. My goodness, just move on. Give these directors more control in the first. Well, I agree with that, Austin, but they didn't. And they chopped the fuck out of his movie. And now we actually have a chance to see how the movie was supposed to be. So yes, I'm very interested in that. You want to hear something cool? John Cena is a huge comic book fan from his youth. That is awesome. I can believe it. John Cena's a nerd. He's a geek. If you listen to him, you watch him, same as The Rock. And Vin Diesel, you know, they're all geeks and they're all nerds. They just happen to be 8 foot tall and built like brick shit houses. Yeah. What teams need is intel, not just brawn, and intellect is what can make or break a team. Yeah, exactly. Also, I was going through the garage. We were throwing away a whole bunch of stuff, and I said, well, you know, Gail, some of this stuff could be on eBay. I don't think I'll put it on eBay, but I found my novelization of the Battle Royale. It is not in eBay shape, though. I've read it a lot. Have you guys actually read the novel? It's actually pretty cool. This I never read. I bought it, and it got lost. This is Wonder Woman novelization by S.D. Perry and Britta, based on the screenplay by Michael Jim. This must be the, based on the DC Comics animated movie. There you go. I found this. I bought it. I never read it. Look at that. The spine is like unbroken and uncracked. That was a while back. I found this a long time ago. This one I did read. I found this at a garage sale, though. It's the first Daredevil novel, Predator Smile, by Christopher Golden. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good book, if I remember correctly. This we actually had as a kid, and I saw it at a garage sale, so I was like, oh, freaking hell yeah. I never got into the Star Wars extended universe, you know, with all the books and everything. In all honesty, I saw, what was it, the Tales of the Jedi or whatever it was with Ahsoka, the first time you meet her and all that. I forget. You guys know more than I do about that. But I did remember reading this as a kid. And if you guys get a chance to read this, it really does kind of continue where the movies leave off. It is pretty awesome. The Splinter of the Mind's Eye, that was always kind of cool to me. And let's see, do I have these in any kind of order? Not really, but I picked these up. I would get the whole series if I could. I think I'm missing one book, but Resident Evil, The Umbrella Conspiracy. This is kind of like the novelization of the first game. You could tell it's a very well-loved book. I read the shit out of this thing. I love the Resident Evil games. I am a shill for them. You cannot convince me. This is an original novel. It's called Caliban Cove. It stars the young lady in Resident Evil 2. I forget her name. I used to know it. I'm not seeing it, and I'm not. Oh, Rebecca Chambers. Yeah, these are kind of fun. And then they. I finally have a guest. And we have a guest. That's a line from a movie none of y'all heard of. Hello to Mr. Staredcraft.
Hey, guys.
So why is it Staredcraft and not Starcraft?
Because when I came up with it, I didn't want to use Starcraft at all. You know, in copyright, so I just added the ED, and I always call it Starredcraft, not Staredcraft. That's how I always call it.
Yeah, but you need one more R for it to be starred.
I know. I didn't think about that at the time. I just thought add in the ED and that would be it.
There you go. Well, my name Englantine is a misspelled word as well. So, if you find novelization of Batman 89 done from an early script, get it. It's interesting. I actually had that, and I had that on audio as well. Gun is a geek for. Dominic says for not just comics, but animation as well. Mm-hmm.
So what were you talking about before I came on?
Well, in all honesty, I was showing off some books I found in my garage. I forgot I had, in all honesty. This is also an original novel. It's Resident Evil City of the Dead. It's book 3.
Oh, I've heard of that.
These are awesome, by the way. I do recommend you give it a try. My first thought was maybe I could put them on eBay, because my first thought is always, what can I sell? But these are really not in great condition. This was awesome.
Yep. The book. I've always heard the S.D. Perry books are not great from what I keep hearing.
Well, I enjoyed them. I'm
sorry. I'm seeing through the cover.
yeah, because the
green screen.
I'm actually kind of lucky my bird isn't disappeared. He's a green bird. Yeah. And then we have Resident Evil Nemesis, book 5.
Oh, so you're showing off the novels. Nice.
Yeah. And then Resident Evil 6 is one of my favorite games. It was the reason I bought a Dreamcast.
Code Veronica. I want them to do a remake so badly so I can finally play it.
Me too. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and yet I still haven't played what was it? The one, The Village?
Village just came out and advanced.
And the one before it with the Hillbilly
7
family. Yeah, I hadn't played either one of those yet, and I do want to. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's see. Let me get some comments, and then we'll We'll have a chat. I just got introduced to Resident Evil in 2019, 2020, and I wish I played them back when I was a kid.
I'm a big fan of them.
I was 24, 25 when they first popped up.
Well, yeah, but for me, I didn't play them until they came to N64 because I never had a PlayStation.
I bought a PlayStation for it. My friend had a PlayStation and he got it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting it."
Resident Evil 2 for N64 was the first one I ever played.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 was the first one I played too.
Yep.
And I played it over and over and over and over and
Same
over.
here.
It was so freaking cool. It's like right now that game for me is Batman Arkham.
Oh, wait, which one?
Batman Arkham. I don't care.
The whole series?
Yeah, sometimes, and that's sometimes what I do. I'll start it one.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah.
Now I do it in story order.
Oh, so you'll start at
Origins, and then I'll do Origins Blackgate, and then I would do Asylum.
I never finished Blackgate, but it's on my PlayStation 2. I want it for my Xbox, but they don't have it.
I got it for PC.
Yeah. Let's see. A current LCS of mine has a good stack of the old Treasury editions, including Superman vs. Wonder Woman. I would love that one. And the Muhammad Ali is one of my grails. It will definitely go up on the wall. Howdy to Twiddle, says Eric and Boyd, and that dude holding him. We know who the true star is.
I'll be right back. I want to show you something, actually, since we're talking about collections.
Okay. I do have to say this. He has so far been good. He's been all puffy and he's just kind of all chilled out right now. So he's been really good. So, yeah. Let's see. I had a copy of Splinter of the Mind's Eye, says Maranya, and it was done as a low-budget sequel to Star Wars by the same person.
Oh, yep. I know about that.
Star Wars origination. Yeah. I have a copy of Nope. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is something. If you ever get a bird, they do this. They'll be all like perched up and they're all happy and everything. And then if you feel them shift, what they're doing is they don't want to poop on their perch.
Oh, no.
Moving. So when he moved down the finger, not on my, oh God. Do you mind? Don't poop on my computer. Don't poop on my computer.
But anyway, I was having this. This is a book. If my house was on fire, I would grab this.
Yep. Oh, who do we have there?
Michael Turner.
Oh, nice. Oh,
a year before he died.
Here you go, boy. Come on.
The other one, he holds the sign, was this one, and I even had Talon Caldwell do a drawing of Lila from this book, from this story.
Oh, nice.
Godfall.
Nice.
Did you ever read this story?
Yes, I did. It was all right. I liked it. It didn't amaze me. The one that amazes me is the Brainiac story.
Oh, the Jeff Johns one?
The one that they did, the movie, the animated movie.
Yeah, Jeff Johns is Brainiac. Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I love comics to be renamed. Twiddles loves comics. Twiddles, do you love comics? Yes, you do, because you like to eat them, don't you? All right. Yeah, I have, by the way, had to trash some comics. One I actually sold is signed by Twiddles. It was 50 cents. I sold it for 50 cents, though.
Well, before I came on, I just got done recording. I've been doing on my Pro Teachers Noob bunch of Superman Batman stuff. We just recorded Superman Batman, the ending of Jeff Loeb's run, the Vengeance arc.
Okay, well, yeah, feel free to shill.
Yep. This one.
Yeah, I good. That is a good run, by the way.
Yep. Oh yeah, I love this.
Ow!
And we went over.
Hey!
Bad Bird.
You will not win this fight, boy. You will not win.
Staring contest.
Ow. Okay, no.
And we went over this. We went over his Supergirl arc.
Yeah, that is good stuff right there.
That was a good run until the end with that horrible twist. that Zor-El wanted Kara to kill Kal-El. What?
Yeah, I was going to do I was going to tie Twiddles one. Let's see. Dominic saying I was in elementary school when I got into Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was my first Resident Evil game. It's good stuff. Those are pretty fun. I did try to play the old game recently, and the tank controls, I couldn't do it anymore. Bite him in a disguise. In a disguise who usually says shoot the bird is now like bite him, Twiddles. Get him.
Okay, so
There
you want to talk about what we wanted to talk about?
Wait, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, wanted to talk in part about, well, given what you had brought up yet during your last stream was Tristan's birthday stream disaster.
Actually, I didn't bring it up. Somebody in the chat
Oh,
did.
someone brought it up. That's what I meant. Someone brought it up.
My comment, and I did call it out. It's a birthday stream. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened was Tristan's stream got spammed. I don't want to go too much in it because it's a very happy stream today so far.
You're right.
But Tristan's stream got spammed. She actually, I think, is sending me the video so I can know what I'm really talking about.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting spammed by JDA and his followers to the point where she shut the stream down. My take on this, and once again, I have to say, if all of this did happen, and
I was backstage,
okay,
I can confirm it.
But I had to say it because I haven't seen it with my own eyes. So, you know, according to what I've heard multiple people say, by the way, at this point, because I've got comments on my videos, I got DMs on my Twitter. And that does happen. If you put yourself into any kind of social media drama, holy Toledo, you're going to hear from it from all sides.
Right.
But my take was it was this: when you do a stream like a celebration stream, if it's 1,000 viewers, if it's 4 years, a birthday, 4 years, if it's a holiday like a Christmas, even when I'm doing a drunk stream, you don't want it really to be a private party, but you kind of expect it to be a private party.
Yeah.
In the way, and by the way, I do understand she made it open mic. This is open mic. Every Monday, open mic. But when you're doing a celebratory kind of thing, you're expecting, like I'm expecting everybody in the chat to be a part of it because you are my, you have been around enough. You're friends. You're the family. You're the England team, as it was coined on Twitter. So when somebody steps up to troll, it really is just, it's bullying, really.
Especially when you know what they're going to do.
Yeah, there's just no point to it. And apparently that happened.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what caused it. And if you want to give your side, understand it's only your side.
Yes, I know. From what I understand, he was already planning on doing this. He was on Saggy Melon's stream the day before, and someone brought it up. He's like, oh, I'm going to go on her stream. I'm going to go on her stream. Basically, JDA just goes on to people's stream, and it's like an asshole. But with Tristan, he really just wants to go with everyone into it because he's come on our stream before, but what would he do? Pimp his stuff, call her out, and tell her, come to Comics Gate and find Jesus there. He says that with such sincerity. Find Jesus in Comics Gate. And basically, she's always been doing it. So sometimes when she does something, like she puts out a big theme for our stream, and if it's something like open mic, he will try to jump in. He's done it before, but this was the first time where he really went at it and said, oh, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Yeah, we know he's not going to do that. And basically while he's there, he's just spamming it, saying, this is racist, this is all this. And eventually said, fine, I'll go to, if you want to let me on, I'll go to my stream and I'll EFAP and send all my trolls after you. He flat out said what he was going to do, and he did it.
Once again, and mind you, you are a friend. Tristan is a friend. But the thing is I can only take your word for it until I see the video myself. But from what I've heard from you, from the comments, and from actually even one of the guys that you said was spamming, he's in my comment section.
Yep.
He even admits to what happened, but he tries to justify it.
Exactly. That's what they always do. They try to justify it.
Yeah, and it's bullying, unfortunately, and that's what it is. It was bullying.
And I've been bullied by some of these guys already, poking fun at
my... But the thing is, yeah. But here's something, and this is my personal advice to you: drop it.
I know. I try.
Drop it. Block it. Don't worry about it.
I try.
This guy, because I looked up these guys that you're talking about, and they have dedicated their streams to insulting you and Tristan. I've had 4 or 5 of those channels pop up. You know, and my
Mm-hmm.
favorite was Faglantine. It was ridiculously stupid.
Right.
But the thing is, and I've said this backstage, I'll say it right here.
Mm-hmm.
You own them.
Oh, I know.
These people are your bitches because they live their lives.
Oh, I know.
According to you.
I've said this before. I wouldn't have been so upset if they didn't drag my other friend Ingrid in this and claim she is more less functioning than I am, and this is she's just as much autistic as I am. She's on my at the movies video. That girl,
Yeah,
the one
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and them going after her was the bridge too far. And what caused that was in one of his streams he used her artwork that she used for my for our Godzilla retrospective, and thus she felt I'm going to take it down because it's my artwork.
Then
it's
copyright claim that shit.
Yeah, but what did they say? Oh, does she own Godzilla? No, so she had no right. Clearly, Robert put her up to it because Tristan told him to do it.
Copyright claim that shit.
But that she got bugged, and I did too. And it was like, we're trying to save you, Robert. Basically, what, saying that I'm incompetent?
No, yeah, that would be my reaction. Just look,
and I would do that. I would say that stuff to them, like, "Oh, really, really? Look at my house. This is my house." But they say, "Oh no, your mom's there and she wipes your butt."
Yeah, that would be my reaction. Also, stop interacting.
I know. I try my hardest. I do.
I mean, come on. I saw there's like 19 videos on this one guy's channel talking about how he doesn't like Tristan.
Oh, I know. And she's like, more laughed at him.
Like, to give you guys, and I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna suggest you.
Oh, I know. I'm not gonna say it either. Channel.
But here's the thing: you guys know Nerdrotic, right? Mm-hmm. And you know when Game of Thrones came out, Nerdrotic made like 1,000 videos about how bad Game of Thrones was. That is this, but he only talks about Tristan. When I saw that, I said, "Are you kidding me?
Oh, good.
Are you kidding me? This guy, the guy who's going after Tristan.
Not gonna say the name. I won't say it.
It doesn't freaking matter. Like I said, he lives his life according to how you live yours.
Oh, I know.
This is beyond somebody that you shouldn't even be worried about.
It wouldn't be bad if it didn't send people after us. It's what the issue is.
There's a block button.
Block. Oh, I know.
And here's something else you might want to try also. Of course, I'm in a decent position because I do the auction, right? And one day we had a whole bunch of people try to put fake accounts, but it would be like Comic Book Frog, and it would be a fake account that looked like his. So what I did was I went backstage and said, "Tell me this word," and when it popped up, I gave him a blue wrench. So now, if you go on my live stream, I've got 10 or 12 blue wrenches at any given time. And in all honesty, sometimes I hear about somebody who jumped on before I even see it because they are spotting on in order of getting rid of the riffraff.
Right.
It is awesome. And I recommend that too. I mean, but point being is it's your channel and it's Tristan's channel. Mm-hmm. There's no freaking reason why. Look, I told JDA last time he was on, we were talking, and he gave a slur for gay people. He can't come on anymore. I have one big rule: no slurs. I don't care.
Yeah, I would never. Unless I'm quoting someone, I would never do it.
It would never actually. I do not appreciate it. I do not accept it. And I have had to tell. I've even had to tell my black guests, you can't be as free with the N word on this channel as you can on your own. You know, it just doesn't happen. I do not have a tolerance for it. I just don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I just want to say my piece there. Let's move on to something different.
There you go. Yes. As Comic Book Frog said, what does this have to do with I Love Comics?
Right. Well,
here's what it has to do. And I'll explain to you. It got brought up in my live stream, and Tristan is a friend. And did you bring
She's
in
my friend too? She's my friend too.
Somebody mentioned it and asked for a reaction, and I gave my reaction. And this is a follow-up.
Exactly.
Tristan is still demonetized.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She's still demonetized. and she's still trying to figure out what video it is. It was not her shorts. That's the one thing these guys keep saying. They keep saying it's her shorts that did it. And Tristan even admitted she was expecting it to be her shorts, but she contacted Google support and they said, no, it's your long form video, which is what makes no sense because she doesn't have any reused content in her long form videos. That's why she's trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Like I said, I would nuke it from orbit. Just in all honesty, did they mention anything? Like, was it flagged or was it just?
Nope.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I know she does. It's really difficult. When I did a purge of my videos, I got rid of like 1,200 videos, but it was everything that had any mention of Comicsgate or anything with politics or whatever. I was looking for why my channel was shadow banned. I heard it was for a video. I don't know. Couldn't find it, but I get it. I get not wanting to do it, but I also understand that it is probably the easiest way for her. Okay, so World's Biggest Geek saying, have you seen the Black Adam movie and how did you like the version of their JSA team? For me, it was Dr. Fate and Atom Smasher. I
have seen it.
Me and my friend Dalton, by the way, we did an hour review. It's on this channel. It's on the movie channel and all that. I loved it. It's a very, very flawed film, but it's a very, very entertaining film. And as far as the Justice Society was concerned, I had fun. I thought I'd like everybody
Cyclone
else.
surprised me.
Cyclone was good visually, but she did nothing. She did nothing in the movie.
Right.
She was window dressing. Very pretty window dressing.
Well, she was supposed to be Stargirl originally.
That would have been awesome as well. But did you?
I was going to bring up something.
No,
did you at all say anything earlier about Kevin O'Neill's passing?
Oh no, I didn't. As I did the retweet and all that earlier.
Yeah,
but
that was a shame.
Yep. But otherwise, yeah, it's a fun film, entertaining, good time.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. I'd say it shows. It was written 10 or 15 years ago, and it shows.
Yeah, you'd think. But anyway, we need that though. We need.
Oh no, we do. Yes.
Oh fuck! Don't bite. Do not bite. You know, go back to being good. No, don't.
I know. Someone asked, "What are you looking forward to?" I say the Death of Superman anniversary special.
Oh, as far as comics are concerned, I don't look forward to comics anymore.
Not even.
I'm sorry, I just don't.
Not even something with Jurgens.
You know what? I do actually. Well, there's something I always say: be careful what you wish for, because you might just get
wait. Michael J. Fox passed away.
Say what?
Someone just said he passed away. What?
Oh shit! Now we've got a new topic, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. I'm trying to see if that's true or not. Hold on. I'm not seeing anyone saying this. I'm not seeing this anywhere. So.
Okay. Yeah. Where did you see this?
I see something about his mom died.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything saying it here. So.
Yeah.
Keep an eye, and if you keep an eye out if you see anything about it. That's why I couldn't find the OG videos. I was looking for me after you described that area. I'm a little curious about the pre-EVS days. Yeah, unfortunately, I had to. I know I got flagged. The guy told me you get this like a YouTube representative, and he told me I was flagged. But it happened at the same time as the what's his name thing where he went after Crowder and
no okay dude, Michael J. Fox did not die 2 days ago. He interacted with Christopher Lloyd a few days ago. His mom passed away 2 days ago.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I just want to make it clear. Michael is still very much alive. Yeah, I mean, he just, I'm looking through all this. I'm seeing nothing that says he died.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
Yeah. Now I see someone tried to pop on the stream. or in the chat.
Yep. Yeah, I think people got their information mixed up. Yeah. Seems up. Holy shit. That I don't know. It's kind of funny, right? Because we don't know the guy
Celebrity
personally.
Hub.
God damn it! There is one fly that is flying around that is just.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
And Celebrity Hub. What is Celebrity Hub?
I have no idea. Black Adam actually used more pre-New 52 lore than I thought. Unlike New 52 Teth Adam, pre-New 52 Adam didn't kill his family. If in doubt about deaths, check this site, and you got the deadoraliveinfo.com.
Yeah, see, I gotta say, I am so tired of seeing Tom Baker pop up, and I'm like, oh no, please tell me that. Oh, thank God. Oh, please don't. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Let's see what I lost. YouTube seriously need to get their act together before they end up convincing Musk to buy them out. Yeah, it gets a little pissy. It really does. You just want to be able to talk about what you could talk about. I'm not calling anyone to action. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying go after this person, go after that person. You got opinions, put them up, right? But I got a copyright, not a copyright. I got a community strike because I talked about an article on my politics channel.
Really?
Yeah, the article existed. I just gave my opinion on it, and I still got a community strike for misinformation.
Wait, there's a Michael J. Fox that's but that's not the same Michael J. Fox that has the obituary. I just looked it up. It's some other guy.
Oh, okay. Well, condolences to the family of the other Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Let's see. I love vintage comics. Patrick Sargent is yelling. Hey, can you tone down on the all caps? I know it kind of bothers Miss Maranya here.
Wait, who's doing all caps? I don't see that.
Patrick Sargent. He's saying I met Juergens this year at San Diego.
Oh, right.
Well, congratulations. And let's see. This is why I don't follow nonsense, says Tevia. Just Google it. Nothing. Yeah, I know. I looked about that too. I was like, holy shit. There is this one YouTube channel which announces the death. Okay, sorry.
If there's one book I would strongly recommend, it's Jeremy Adams' Flash Run. Flash has not been bad at all in the past couple years.
Let's see. We got no for the Black Panther movie. I'm not predicting anything, but do you guys think that the General Latino? Goodness, about the Black Panther movie, I'm almost with you on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not. Gosh, everything I've seen about it has not thrilled me.
I'm willing enough to wait and see.
Well, I'm going to. I've got a channel. We're going to talk about it.
Right. I'm gonna be seeing it this weekend while I'm at Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
Yeah. He has a politics channel. I thought it was this one, but yeah, that's basically it. I know we talk about politics too much on this channel. R.I.P. Neil Adams. Yeah.
Yep. And Kevin O'Neill.
Just wondering, have you seen the Battle of? No, not yet.
I have.
Any good?
Yes. And the guy who wrote that is the guy writing the Flash books, Jeremy Adams. He's also the guys who write the Mortal Kombat Legends movies.
Hold on just a second. John, you literally said something to get a rise. I'm not playing the fucking games. All right? Nobody's starting a war. That's on you.
He just wants to.
But you did no. Hold on. I don't want you in on this. This is between me and him.
Okay. Yep.
All right. You literally said something to get a rise. I didn't put a rise on it, but for a freaking fact, I don't allow slurs. I'm definitely not gonna allow racist statements. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen on this channel, John. At this point in time, look, you need a hobby. You need something to do. Go find something to do. All right. We're geeks. We talk about shit like comic books and movies and toys and bullshit like that. And yet you still seem to come off as the least mature person here. Still, that's just absolutely it. You want a war? You say you don't want a fucking war? Nobody's starting a war, John. I just don't want the bullshit on my channel. Now you have an absolutely fine choice. Don't put up shit on my channel like minorities and women deserve no place in comics, which is what you put up there. And you can hang around and talk. Don't use slurs, whether it's for gay people, black people, women, men. I don't give a what it's for. White people is an insult. I don't like that either. Don't do that. You're more than welcome to stay. You're more than welcome to have a conversation. Start a fucking war. What the fuck are you talking about, John? Seriously. Start a war. Grow the fuck up. Go to blood sports or whatever you guys talk about where you think that you're accomplishing something by going on somebody's channel just to troll. But not here. You put on my chat, women and minorities have no place in comics because you wanted to get a rise. That was the rise. That was done. Have a good day. It's your choice to make. All righty.
All right.
It could be an alt. Yeah, you're right. It could have been an alt. It could have been somebody just pretending to be him.
Could be.
But you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not being a part of it. I was a part of it 4 fucking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As far as this Comicsgate thing that you think, oh, go find God, I was there at the fucking beginning, and I'm tired of it. You want to talk comics? You want to talk how to save the comic book industry? I'm there. But if you want to play this bullshit back and forth shit, I'm done. I was done 4 fucking years ago. Go back to your fucking hole, whoever the fuck you are. And that is a freaking exclamation point done. Otherwise, I would have stuck with it. I would have talked to you about, oh my gosh, did you see what that bitch on Twitter said? But I don't do that. You know why? I'm done. I was there at the beginning. Yep. It's yours now. Go make your fucking comics. I hope they sell $1 million, and I'm not joking about that. I hope everybody who's trying succeeds. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. I'm not a part of it anymore. Get the fuck out of my yard. Go. You're done.
All man comics talking.
Otherwise, by all means, stay. Talk about comics. Talk about movies. Talk about what we're talking about and be friendly about it. Because in all honesty, I'm fucking done.
Agreed.
I was done with it 4 goddamn years ago. And that, I know, basically, I had turned my back on a lot of the 18,000 subs that I managed to acquire. But you know what? I'm very happy with the people who come here because they want to hear something a little bit more layered than, oh my gosh, this one's going to suck before I even see it or before I even read it.
Preaching to the choir. I agree with you right there.
God damn it. I'm done. Every time I thought I was out,
they keep pulling me back. Hey, dude, you're preaching to the choir here. I agree with you entirely. That's why it took me a while before I started doing my Pro Teacher's Noob. And since then, I've been having a blast coming up with it. Because the thing is about my videos is, it's not about what I think. It's about who I'm talking about it to will think. Like I went over Superman Last Family of Krypton, the last official Elseworld. I didn't care for it, but the person I told it to loved it. She loved it. I'm like, oh, really? You liked it? I had issues with that, but, you know, I get surprises out of it.
I'm looking forward to Super Sons. I just haven't. I'm going to see it. I just haven't yet. I was watching the new Green Lantern movie the other day, and that was a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh, I've heard people trash that one.
Oh, really? I'm only halfway through.
Because of Hal.
Oh, it does start it does start with Hal Jordan being dead. But otherwise, yeah, I didn't have a problem with that because a lot of these movies I see as kind of an alternate anyway. Let's see. Somebody was talking about something else too. Let me go up and I'm willing to give. I'm going to give Black Panther 2 a shot. It's just I'm not excited about it. and that's a big difference.
It's at least enough to get my interest, which is more I can say for Eternals.
You know what? I'm one of the few people who are a little bit easier on the Eternals, but only because I see what it could have been had they done it as a TV show.
Right. Unfortunately, well, it would have been much better than what Inhumans was.
Yeah.
I guess you heard the rumors.
This was it. World's Biggest Geek has said, have you seen DC Legends of Tomorrow? I watched up until like the last 2 seasons I didn't see, but that's on me. I loved the show up until that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, have you heard the rumors that apparently Zaslav, what's his name? The guy who's with Gunn, Straff, something, the other co-CEO, Christopher Nolan and Steven Spielberg all met for lunch recently.
Okay.
Now, no one knows what was said. That's where the facts end. But the fact that some of the busiest men in Hollywood currently took time enough to meet. And given how Spielberg just finished up a passion project, which usually means he goes into a more of a geek project later, what if he was to do Superman?
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, they have been talking about that. Maybe Superman could be like Spielberg's James Bond finally.
Yeah.
MK's asking, do you think the Black Adam positive reception will help hype for Shazam 2?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if normies put together, even though they did have a similar origin. I'm not sure if they explained enough that Black Adam is part of the Shazam to the
they
normies.
did bring it up, and I think the lightning bolt is a good indication.
It is, but let's see. Patrick said, what do you guys think of Swamp Thing and Maximum Carnage from the 80s and early 90s? Swamp Thing, awesome. I loved it. It was Swamp Thing was a real awakening. I was about 14, 15 at the time.
I don't know.
And it was just, this is what could be done with comics, right? So I was really excited. God bless you if you're a 90s kid. I know you 90s kids love Maximum Carnage. I like the video game. But
I saw what they were going for.
After a while, I was done with it. That and the Clone Saga just killed Spider-Man for me.
I have a question for you. Who is your favorite Superman XP, ripoff character? Who do you think is your
ripoff? And I take it you mean like within comics, not like the
Indian within
Superman
comics. Within comics, for me, it's Mr. Majestic from Wildstorm.
Mm-hmm.
For he's the best one because he's basically what if Superman came from a Saiyan-like race and he had the intelligence of Reed Richards.
Okay, I know I could cheat and say Shazam.
No, because he wasn't a ripoff. He wasn't.
Captain Marvel was abso-freaking-lutely a ripoff.
I mean ripoff in other regards. So
they took that shit to court.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, that was tilted in DC's favor unfairly.
Oh yeah, I know. I've done videos on this one. Who is my favorite Superman?
XP ripoff, whatever you want to call it.
It's kind of funny because I'm having a hard time. The one story I really loved was Astro City, but I'm having a hard time remembering the character's name. But I love the way of telling that story. It was pretty good.
Yep. Another one I like is, of course, Hyperion.
Oh, you know what? There you go. You just nailed it.
You also have Apollo.
When I was right here, as a matter of fact, when I was a kid, one of the things that I picked up was the mini series for Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
And that just got. I'm gonna not get into a lot here. Yeah. I'm shaking way too much for him to be comfortable.
Tavia asked what about Irredeemable?
But there you go.
Oh, that omnibus.
Yeah, this thing has freaking everything.
I know. I actually have the traits that collect a lot of those.
But yeah, I read the miniseries, and then they had a graphic novel after it, and then I went after all the Avengers appearances. And wow, I need to dust. But I admitted yesterday. I admitted yesterday I live like a slob. I'm I want to look at I want to look at some comics. Okay, I'll totem and I put it here. I'll put it there, and I'm surrounded by comics and such. Haven't cleaned this area.
Right.
You know, it's just I've got comics everywhere, and not a drop to drink or something.
Oh, someone brought up Omni-Man from Invincible.
Oh yeah, well, if you're of that age, Invincible is freaking awesome.
Yep, I will just say, well, the only other crowdfunding I've done besides anything that's Common America related, it was Boom Studios doing the Irredeemable, Incorruptible, and I forget what the third one was, but a bunch of collections of all of those Mark Waid mini runs.
Now, Tevia, I haven't actually watched Young Justice except for season 1. Sad thing. So, and if you're a content creator, you know this can happen. So I'm sitting here, I'm watching Young Justice, and every time an episode gets done, I pause, I write what would end up being about a minute and a half worth of comments. So I could do what I wanted to do was season 1, episode 1, and just do a video where I talked about each episode for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and just put that out as a video. So I watched the entire season 1, write down the script. Okay, fine. We're good. Lost the script.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Killed your momentum, didn't it?
It really did, because now I don't even have the desire to go back and watch the cartoon.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I got a couple of review keys for some people, to review their games, and I got the footage for all of them. I was ready to go, and because of something that happened, a bunch of videos that were on one of my external drives got deleted, just purged, gone.
Let's see. Inhumans and Eternals deserve better than ultimately what happened to them by Marvel Studios. I agree. I wish, I really do. If I were showrunner or whatever, if I was in control of Eternals, I would still have the same director. I actually think she's not bad, but it would have been a TV show. It would have been, I would have had it, them expand the script a bit, get to know the characters a lot more, and see where it went from there. Obviously, probably would have had a less of a budget for special effects, but if you look, we can give on the special effects if we love the characters. And I really think that's where the Eternals movie failed. It tried to shove so many people in there, but they never really explained enough about it. So it ended up whatever. If you don't really care about the characters, you don't care what's happening to the characters. Yeah. You need to make sure that's going on. I love the Swamp Thing, the movie. So did I, Otis. I was at that point in time, I think I was 10, 11 when it came on, maybe 12 if I saw it on HBO or something like that. And I thought that was the baddest ass movie for a while. Well, except for, of course, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
Best movie of all time. Tubby is saying, question, I'm just wondering, what is your opinion on the Krakoa era for X-Men and how would you end that story? Okay, so here, let me explain, and this will tell you how I like that era. I read Hoxpox, and then just because I was going to trash it, I read the Gala. That's it.
Oh,
I am not interested. Hoxpox was so freaking bad. I did not continue, and I only read the Gala because it looked stupid, and I thought it would be fun.
Not even good enough for that.
Yeah, how I would end it, in all honesty, I would have Krakoa be the ultimate villain, and the whole point of it was he wanted to drag mutant kind onto him so he could use their energy.
Ooh. And
by absorbing mutant energy, he would expand to cover the rest of the oceans and take over the world. Nice. That's how I would end that, and that would explain why the X-Men were kind of acting weird and out of character as they were written by Hickman and all the rest of them that took up the mantle. It was all chemicals and such in the food and the water, the plants and such that were consumed by the mutants while they were on Krakoa. So they were brought over in under the illusion of safety, and of course they were only being used for their energies.
Yeah.
But
One other question
that
before
would
I
be
get
it.
going, because I'm getting a bit exhausted. One other question.
What's up?
Did you ever read any of Mark Waid's the Irredeemable trilogy,
Never.
Irredeemable, Incorruptible, and Insufferable? Never read it?
Never read any of it, tell you the truth.
They're really good. They're some of Wade's best.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. I've had a couple of them for the auction. I think I still have them, but I've never. I've never. Come on. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I highly recommend them. I didn't even know about Insufferable. Apparently, that was a digital comic project. And this is the first time they're being completely collected.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was on a coming soon kind of thing, but I thought I saw a trade paperback.
Yep, I like how they explain it. What if the world's most powerful hero finally snapped? What if its greatest villain turned good? And the Insufferable is what happens when your crime-fighting sidekick grows up to be an arrogant, ungrateful jerk with no remorse and fewer principles?
Yeah. How about Homelander or Omni-Man? Homelander is interesting, but in all honesty, I don't really like the Boys comic.
Yeah.
I think the TV show is nailing it, except for, of course, some of the politics this year. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's better in the comic.
Okay, I'm going to have to get going, man.
Well, have a good day. Hope everything works out for you guys, and enjoy.
Yep, take care. Yeah, I'm leaving because I'm seeing some other people are following me in the chat. So
no worries. No worries. We'll take care. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's see. I'm still up at Radio Apocalypse by Ram V. Ram V has turned out to be pretty good at the writing game. Let's see. CHRONONAUGHT has been here. I've been here a while. Was this rant once again someone trying to put you in a group you have not been a part of since before Trump was president? No, not necessary. It wasn't about that. It was that something was put into my chat that I do not allow in my chat. And by the way, if you've got a blue wrench and you see that kind of thing pop up where it looks like they're doing something racist or slurp, feel free. Let's see. Does that include the characters from Rise of the Superman? Oh yeah, that would be cool. Let me fast forward. Oh, geez, you need to settle with this. Nope, no, we don't. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye now. The Squadron Supreme, where Jerk says, well, they were called the Squadron Sinister for a while. Yeah, so that's how they were built. Let's see. 2001 book by Kirby was good. Same with the Devil Dinosaur. Dude, I found at Ollie's, I found the a trade paperback with the entire Devil Dinosaur run. That was good. Yeah. Punisher from the 90s was good. Oh, yes. So far, so good, man. Midnight Souls was good. Actually, I don't know. I would have to look that up. It sounds familiar. I don't know if I read it. Let's see. Jupiter Legacy. That was all right. You know what? I hate the fact that they canceled the show. I didn't think the show was great, but I thought it was pretty solid. Sad that they canceled it. Let's see. Question. Speaking of Brightburn, that reminds me, I'm just wondering who would win in a fight. John Kent, Superboy, as his little 10-year-old self. I would actually say Brightburn. It seems like Superboy was not up to speed. Like when Brightburn seemed like he was almost full power Superman, or at least he was pre-crisis Superboy. Hellfire Gala was so bad. It really was. It was not good. Super Crash Dummies, Harvey. That's later Harvey than me, because I was part of the Richie Rich hot stuff generation. In the Doctor Strange movie, how did you like the introduction of the Illuminati appearances when they were talking to Steven? I loved the X-Men 90s music that came in when Professor X showed up. Thought that was really good. Like everybody, or like a lot of people, I was kind of like, oh, hey, all right, that's great. And then what happened to him, I was like, really? Okay, this is where we're going. But otherwise, yeah, I thought the thing with Black Bolt blowing out his own brain was kind of stupid, because if you would think that if anybody was immune to Black Bolt's power, it would be Black Bolt, but yeah. What would I rate the Batman Hush? The movie, I would rate it a 6, 7. but the comic I would rate in 6, 7. It was okay. I'm not somebody who like fell for Hush. I thought it was very much like Monster of the Week. But it has its place. I mean, it was okay. It was good. I liked it, but I don't see why it is one of the greatest Batman stories ever told. Ooh, that's a tier list. In all honesty, Tevia, I don't know. Oh, Mora's involvement with Krakoa. The way I would do it was Krakoa manipulated Mara, but I don't know what happened between then and now. I would obviously have to read and see what everybody's positions were if I were doing and if I wrote. Avoid the original Swamp Thing. Definitely see the remake that happened a couple of years ago. Holy shit, that's so good. My favorite Superman analogs besides Apollo are Hyperion, Mr. Majestic, Supreme, Ultraman, Ultiman, excuse me, the High, also Wildstorm, Alpha Centaurian, Icon, and Mighty Mouse. Good call on the Mighty Mouse, Dominic. Don't know what, Patrick, I think you may be about 10 years younger than I am, because you're calling out things that just weren't a part of my geekdom. Let's see. Professor X wakes up and was like, wow, what a poorly written dream. Hey, there you go. Oh, sorry there. I didn't mean to scare you, Birdie. That's a good way to do it. Let's see. Hey, JP Fawn wanted to ask about the comics I purchased a week ago. They are, dude, actually, I need the address. I've got them right next to me. And they're all boxed up. They're ready to go. It's just, I got a payment with no address. It's got a name, but I don't have a, hey, this is this person. So I need to know basically your name and your address, just so I could connect the two. If I'm unsure of it, I do exactly what it's right here. It's ready to go. It's just, I need a name and an address on where to send it. Sorry about that. I will save it when you send it to me. I will save it and make sure that this doesn't happen again. But that is what happened. They are literally sitting right on the floor, right next to me. Not the comics, but it's in a box. Let's see. Question. Speaking of Krakoa era, that reminds me, how would you explain I have no clue on that one. Best version of Huntress in comics, Helena Wayne or Helena Bertinelli? I'm only going to say that's because that's the one I'm really familiar with, but Helena Bertinelli was the one that took part in No Man's Land. And it was some of the best Huntress you're going to find. There's a scene in the beginning. Of course, we know she dressed like Batgirl because Gotham needs a bat. But later, she joins the Bat family and she's given the task, protect this gas station, and she fails. And then she's given the task, protect these children, and the Joker and all of his goons attack. And it's such a great arc. It truly is. I love her character in that story. It's one of the things that, in my opinion, really make No Man's Land one of, if not the greatest Batman story ever told. Super Spidey stories, good. I used to have a couple of them for the auction. Yeah, I think they're fun. Let's see. How do I send the address? PayPal. Actually, englandteen@gmail.com is my email address. So if you want to send it there, I'll copy it and I'll put it in my little folder for all of the addresses and such. Joker from 76 run was great. I agree with that as well. So I was wanting to do a little research and try to find out if it was true that that the Joker he always had to end up being in jail at the end of that because of the comics code or something along those lines. How do you feel about current? I don't read Amazing Spider-Man. In all honesty, I wish I read more comics. Unfortunately, I just don't. I've got a lot of other stuff going on, and it just, I'd find myself with little time. This Punkback starting crap, read them. Y'all did screenshot his comments, right? I have no idea. I know a whole bunch of people got blocked. Let's see. Curious, as far as intelligence, who would you say is the smartest to dumbest? Michael, Freddie, Chucky, and Jason. Smartest? Michael, Freddie, Chucky, and Jason. Okay, bear with me. Chucky, Jason, Freddie, and then Michael. I actually think Chucky is the most intelligent from what we've seen in the movies. And then Jason, if you ever look, his kills are so freaking clever that he's got some thought to that, even though he's a zombie. And then Freddie, of course, and then Michael's probably the least intelligent. Let's see. Have a good night, Joe. Take care. Be safe. Let's see. Keep records. I love comics. Doesn't read comics. No, I said I don't have enough time to read as many as I want. I do, in fact, read comics. This is my recent poll right here. I got the Marvel Family Facsimile, the first appearance of Black Adam. And then I got the Amazing Spider-Man Facsimile, the first issue of Amazing Spider-Man, the first appearance of Hawkeye, the first appearance of the Sinister Six, Tomb of Dracula #1, the first appearance of Dracula in Marvel Comics. And then the Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Undead. I got issue 1 and 2 of that. And then Nice House on the Lake, issue #9. And then probably my favorite of the modern comics, and that's the Max Bemis Ant-Man series. I'm finding that to be pretty good. So there you go. Let's see. But yeah, I do actually read comics. It's just not as much as I wish I could. Let's see. Do you love comics, just not reading them? Yeah. Hey, I'm reading back issues more often than anything else. I just finished the trade paperback of Dark Victory. I'm reading the Silver Age of Marvel Comics right now. It's a big kind of coffee table book that just kind of goes through the entire Silver Age with some of the art is just blown up. It's a book about like that big, and it's so cool. I was reading that. I reread Slugfest, the story about Marvel versus DC. What else? What other trade paperbacks did? Oh, I read the Dan Abnett Aquaman run again. That was fun. I picked up Showcase Presents Supergirl, so I've read the first 7 appearances of I think it was 7 by now. 7 Supergirl appearances. So those are the kind of books and comics I'm really reading. For Halloween, and I didn't get around to it. I did do the first issue, but I thought it might be fun to go through the Creature Commandos, but I never got around to it. So, yeah, I like reading the old stuff a lot better than I do the new stuff. So, let's see. Chucky, Freddie, Jason, Michael, says CHRONONAUGHT. That I was thinking about the Freddie and Jason thing. Freddie's got some interesting kills too, but I don't know. I just like Jason's sense of humor. I love Spectacular Spider-Man from 180 to 200. For me, it would be from probably about 40 or 50 to 100 would be my favorite run of them. Tomb of Dracula is in fact dope, sir. Let's see. The Marvel Family with Mary Marvel and Captain Marvel. This was actually Mary Marvel's first appearance too, I believe. I think I'm wrong about that. It was a different one. Let's see. Interesting. Okay, mine would be Chucky, Michael, Freddie, and Jason. I watch those movies again, sir. Let's see. Gene Colan was one of the greatest, says Patrick. Silver Surfer, good stuff. Jack Cole's Plastic Man. Oh, I love Jack Cole's Plastic Man. Great stuff. CHRONONAUGHT, I never really viewed Jason as a zombie or more a lizard man with a regeneration. Let's see. Do the Shadow with Chaykin. That was pretty good. Man, all these books I wish I had the memory for. Hold on just a second. I'll show you guys something here. Let's see. Comic Vine. I used to be a big contributor to Comic Vine, not official. They didn't ask me to do anything for them. It's just I found their site and I figured I would be arrogant enough to think that everybody wanted to see my my opinion. So man, I did over 1,000 reviews on their channel. Let's see, every comic series, mini series, or one shot that I have ever owned. I made this list. This is just admitting I had a hell of a lot of free time at the time. So please, by all means, feel free to insult me for having this little of a life while I was making this list. But yeah, I made this list of, it's not only, it's every comic book or comic book series that I have tried a comic book from. I wish I had the ability to remember everything I've ever read, because yeah, this is just a few, because this list was made about 12 or 13 years ago, long time ago. So it's grown since then. Wow, it is okay, here we go. Let me just scroll down. So at some point in time, all these titles I've either read the entirety of, or I've just picked up a few issues and checked it out just to give it its day in court. So I guess that wasn't that long ago, because it's got that Avengers West Coast on it. Either that or I went back and added. But yeah, I made this, and it's a few pages long, actually. And yeah, you mentioned all these really cool comics. I wish I had the memory. Like I know I've read these. I just don't remember much about them. By the way, I do remember that Batman Nosferatu has some of the worst art ever. But there you go. Yeah, it's 11 pages. So yeah, there you go. If you're ever as obsessive as I was at the time, you could do your own list. Let's see. Question: what about Pinhead versus Jason Voorhees? Pinhead. Just because Jason Voorhees isn't. I don't know. Pinhead is like demonic. I don't know. Samara versus Candyman versus Pinhead. Once again, I'm going to go Pinhead on those. That is a good Thunderdome Reborn question for horror. Who is the smartest horror? Yeah. Let's see. Daredevil, Frank Miller. That Frank Miller run of Daredevil is the absolute greatest run of comics of all time. Let's see. First time today I heard a song called Castle Wall. Do you know which group? MK, by all means, I know which group. The greatest group ever, Styx. Yeah, I'm a huge Styx fan. Yeah, Castle Wall is off the Grand Illusion album. It's actually I want to say the second to last, because they have the Grand Illusion reprise. But yeah, excellent freaking song. I saw him do it live. He was here in Epcot, Dennis DeYoung, and he did it live. That man can sing. And yes, by the way, I do know that Styx is not regarded as a well-respected band, but the fan base pretty strong. Let's see. Have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home? Yes, I did. Which version of the Green Goblin did you like, the hood or the mask? Did you see the animatronic they had? They showed this thing that they did with for the first movie, and I always thought, wow, I wish we got that. I can understand why they didn't, because with that mask, you don't have to worry about the animatronics. You don't have to worry about every puppeteering the face and all that kind of stuff. So it would have been a hassle. So I understand why they didn't do it, but boy, I wish they did put that mask up there. Otherwise, I got to tell you something. You got Willem Dafoe. He looks like the Green Goblin. Like, his face is the Green Goblin. You put a hood on him. They could have painted him green if they wanted to, but I don't know if that would have been distracting. But overall, yeah, good stuff. Your lists suck, Englandine. You don't have Amethyst or Aryan, Lord of Atlantis. At the time, I did not read Amethyst, well, I did, but I don't know. I just forgot them. You're right. I made a mistake on that. RoboCop from Marvel has some of the worst art. Yeah. Question: would you retcon all of Bendis' horrible super? Yes. Yeah, I would. I would absolutely get John Kent. First of all, I would have retconned it from the very beginning. Him saying that, oh no, what you knew about Krypton's explosion was wrong. That was a bad take. It was a horrible take. And then you have Lois and Clark, who Tomasi showed to be excellent parents. And you got a really good sense of family throughout his entire freaking run as Superman. Lois and Clark in the first freaking 5 issues of Bendis's run are the dumbest parents ever. Well, I want to go all the way into space with this guy was a villain not but 5 weeks ago. Can we do that? Okay. Yeah, no, you can't. You know why? Because we're your parents. You're not going to go into freaking space with this nut bar. No, it's not happening. I thought that was the dumbest freaking thing. It was the dumbest decision ever made. And that dumb decision was, of course, only so he could go through some sort of black hole, come out the other end a teenager. But yeah, I would. Pearl Jam versus Def Leppard. Who wins? Def Leppard. I do not like Pearl Jam. I know 90s people love it, but I'm not 90s people. I'm 80s people. A friend of mine, I was working at Twister with this guy, loved Pearl Jam. So he gave me all of their albums. And I noticed that all the songs started off whispering until it got loud at the end, then started whispering again. And that was every goddamn Pearl Jam song. Every one. Whisper, 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 yell, yell, whisper, whisper, whisper. After a while, I couldn't take it. It's like I felt like I heard his song. So, yeah. But God bless you. If you like Pearl Jam, look, I listen to Styx. Not a lot of people love Styx, so I get it. If you listen to Pearl Jam's your jam. Hey, more power to you. I think Harvey and Dell Comics, Dick Tracy, highly underrated. Chester Gould. I love Dell Dick Tracy. I liked it when they reprinted them in the Gladstone books in the 90s. But if you guys could if you could get your hands on some of those Gladstone Dick Tracy, highly recommend you do so. Yeah, I miss the Superman family as well, Tomasi. Let's see. Oasis versus Nirvana. Who's better? I'm not listening to that. I can't even. No, I'm not even. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So that's not going to be something I can answer. That may be the first thing to do with music that we have agreed on. Eric, come on in. Let's talk some music, man. Seriously, jump on in. Well, I got to go. Have a good day, Tavia. I need to get ready for bed. Have some sleep. Yeah, sleep would be a good thing. Kiss beats everyone because they have superpowers. Kiss did once meet a Phantom of a Park, and we're awesome. Toe Jam is better than Pearl Jam. One of the funniest things I thought was I was telling my cousin, I'm running crowd control for this band. They're doing a video. I worked at Universal Studios, and he goes, "Really? What's what band?" I tell him I think they're called Creed. And he goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." They just start up some music. It's like, and so we're sitting there. And it's like, okay, everybody quiet. We're going to go. They had filled up the street with water so he could be sitting in a boat, doing this thing. And they start playing the sound. They start playing the vocals so he could lip sync to them. And my cousin lost his shit because I did that. And it sounded exactly like, I think it was, "With arms wide open under the moonlight." And he heard this and he couldn't laugh. So he started wailing on me. Yeah. Good times. Your friends when you can beat the shit out of each other for making each other laugh, right? Maranya said, I remember as a kid, 70s, when Dick Tracy was a Sunday strip along with Prince Valiant. Yeah, good stuff. Picked up Star Wars High Republic. Pretty good. Oh, really? That's good. Death's Head is the first. Okay. Nirvana is good, but I don't like grunge, says Rhaegar. Yeah, it wasn't for me either. You know what? I did like Verve Pipe did a song for the movie. What is it? Rock something. It was Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston, Rockstar. And they did a song that I just think is the bee's knees. It was what was the song? Colorful. And it's just so good. If you have a chance, if you like grunge, you like Verve Pipe, check that out. It's really good. AC/DC versus Kiss versus Queen. I'm sorry. Look, I love AC/DC. I have all of AC/DC's albums. I love Kiss. Guess what? Up to a certain point, up to Revenge, I have all of Psycho Circus. I have all of Kiss's albums. And I love Queen, and I have all of their albums. And just from beginning to end, Queen. And yes, I am one of those people who, if you're a fan of the band and they ask you what's your favorite song from the band, very rarely it becomes one of the hits. But I think with Queen, I wish sometimes I wish people would talk about the other stuff. The Jesus song is really good. The Great Rat King is also good. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff on the earlier albums that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Teo Toriate is one of my favorite off of Day at the Races. And of course, Somebody to Love is the big song on that one. Even on goodness gracious, the other one with Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm seeing the cover, but it's not coming. Obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody, best song off of it. But they have another one called 69. In the year is 69, a simple ship came. Anyway, I thought, but it was a really good song. I like some of the lesser known songs. AC/DC has a great LP where I like their take on Jailbreak is really good, but stuff like Whole Lot of Rosie is really good. But in general, I think the best song from AC/DC is Thunderstruck. And with Kiss, what would I think is Kiss's greatest song? Kiss is kitsch, man. Seriously. I don't know. What would I say? I mean, obviously Destroyer has so many freaking good songs on it, but I like Come On and Love Me. Christine 16 is freaking awesome on Love Gun. Love Gun is awesome on Love Gun. Let's see. You know what? I think that's one of the only disco songs I can stand. Also, I was made for loving you, baby. Let's see. But I'm trying to remember what it was. There was a song on the album Revenge, but now I can't remember the title, so I can't really say. But I gotta say also, I love Crazy Nights. I mean, damn, I don't know what I would call Kiss's best song. Let's see. I'll take Nirvana anyway over Nickelback. Most people would. Kiss Creatures of the Night is great, says Christopher Barker. Queen, isn't that basically like a woman king? Hey, yes. Batman 401, Magpie, good Sneaky Jim. One of the most underrated comic books of all time, by the way. Steven is one of my all-time favorite Alice Cooper songs. Oh my gosh, Steven will f you up. If you want a turn off the lights and listen to it on Halloween song, it's going to be Steven by Alice Cooper. That is a mind of a song. That will it will boggle your brain. I wish I wouldn't get a copyright strike. I would put it on right now for you guys because it's art. I guess, I've got proof on the wall. I'm an Alice Cooper fan, but yeah, that song is just, it's art. It's artwork. I love Steven. That is a great freaking song. Feed My Frankenstein is pretty cool. For Anthrax, I got to say, I didn't listen to a lot of Anthrax. I liked what I heard. And I had a couple of their albums. The thing that got me into it, they had a rap song. It really sucks. Well, what is the beat? We'll beat the beat, the beat we eat or something like that. It wasn't. God. I'm trying to remember it, but it's just But I think they had that song, be all, be the end all. Life is such a real ball, a state of mind, euphoria. Yeah, that was Anthrax. Yeah, be all, be all, be. Of course, they sang it much heavier than I do. I'm tenor at best, I think. Let's see. How about classics? The Beatles versus the Rolling Stones. I'm a Beatles guy. I have all of the Beatles albums. I have a few Rolling Stones albums. But to me, the Rolling Stones, they're greatest hits band. Their greatest hits are awesome, but yeah, but the Beatles from beginning to end for me. Milton Knight, Might Mouse, good stuff. I agree, by the way. I'm not against the cartoon comics. Erica has been on a couple of times and we've talked about them. The Richie Riches, the Mighty Mouse, I would recommend that. Pick up some Underdog if you can. 7 Seas of Rye ties with Under Pressure and Radio Gaga from 7 Seas of Rye is great, Jim. You can't go wrong with that one. God gave rock and roll to you, gave rock and roll to you. Now, here's the thing about that song. I was an usher in a movie theater when Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey came out. And I heard that 5 times a day because it's playing over the end credits. So I don't know if I love that song or if I was if it was forced upon me to the point where I love that song. But I love that song now. White Snake. Oh, you know what? I went and saw White Snake. It was kind of funny. We bought tickets and it was going to be White Snake and this new band called Guns N' Roses. And when we got there, Guns N' Roses was too big. So they weren't opening for anybody at that point, which is kind of weird because they only had one album. Appetite for Destruction just boom. And within the span of that one album's lifespan, they went from opening act to supporting act to opening act. So they backed out. And usually they bring in some in-town cover band, come and sing for a couple of songs, which they usually get booed off stage. That's what happened to Iron Maiden. Ace Frehley couldn't show up. Ace Frehley was going to open for Iron Maiden, and they brought in this cover band. I thought they were fine, but they got booed off stage. But Whitesnake said, no, don't worry. We've got this. And they just expanded their playlist and gave us a good 2 solid hours of awesome music. So did Iron Maiden. After the band played like 2 songs, they got booed off stage. So Iron Maiden came out and did damn near their entire library. By the way, if you ever get a chance to see Iron Maiden, do so. Now, granted, I saw them when they were younger and in their prime. I don't know what 60-year-old Iron Maiden looks like. I hope they look pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing 80-year-old Alice. For as much as I love Alice Cooper music, never seen him in concert. That's a question I can ask you guys. Is there a concert by someone conceivable that you could watch? Like, I would have loved to have seen the Beatles. It's inconceivable that I could, because by the time I became old enough to appreciate it, John Lennon had been shot, and it couldn't have happened. But yeah, is there a band that you missed that you would have loved to have seen? One of the things that's been on my mind recently, because Gail goes, "Oh my gosh!" And I said, "What?" Mickey Dolenz is going to be in town. Mickey Dolenz is drummer for the Monkees. I've never seen the Monkees in concert. I saw Davy Jones. Davy Jones lived around town here. Actually, I think just up the road and around the corner. I've mentioned before, I'm on the wrong side of the tracks. We literally have that kind of road. If you go across the main road here, you're in $1 million homes. But I would have loved to have seen the Monkees. I'm a big Monkees fan. That would have been really cool. Oh my gosh, Heaven's on Fire. Me and my friends, we used to harmonize at school to Heaven's on Fire. I kid you not. We would get together, and there was this one area that had great acoustics, and we would do Heaven's on Fire from Kiss. Ever hear Inagata Davida, honey? Yes, I do. But I have to stop that song. I can't listen to the entire thing. Like the last 45,000 minutes are piano. Would you do a ranking of the Beatles albums? Yes, I would. As a matter of fact, one thing I wanted to talk about with Eric is I want to do a tier list of Beatles music. I really do. I think that would be kind of fun to do. And first do the albums and then do like the songs off the albums. It might just be another video thing that might be popular. I mentioned how I wanted to start doing more pop culture, not just comics, but more pop culture stuff around here. Holy shit. By the way, thank you to Sports Ball and Comics. I certainly appreciate it. Let's see. What do we got? But yeah, I would be very open. I just sent Eric a link. Cartoon comics are a good switch up. Yeah, they are. They're fun. They're interesting. They're entertaining. Of course. Best song in a comic book movie. Best song. Can you read my mind? I'm just kidding. I always thought that scene. I love it now. When I was a kid, I didn't understand it. It seemed like they were, why are you flying around? Can you read my mind? Can you picture the things you listen? If you listen to the music, she was supposed to sing that. Let's see. Best song in a superhero movie. Best song in a superhero movie. Kiss from a Rose. I mean, that is pretty good. Yeah, I might have to go with that one. I don't know. That's one of those things where I'm not really able to think of much, but it might pop into my head. Oh, wait. Hey, Eric, what's up?
I don't know how long this is going to last because I've been having internet problems.
Okay.
My Discord keeps popping up and like sucking all the bandwidth out, I guess. But I don't think it's on right now, so I might be good. But I'm going to ask you your question about people I would like to see. My other icon, I think they're called the Fred Flintstone thing.
Yeah.
The one that shows up. Well, the one that shows up in chat is the Jam. Now they're all still alive. That's the good news. The bad news is Paul Weller has an ego bigger than both Gallagher brothers.
I have no idea. Oh wait, that's Oasis.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, they were the ones that said we're bigger than the Beatles.
They did? No, yes. I don't. In all honesty, I can't tell you anything about Oasis.
Well, you're not missing anything. I think they're hideously overrated.
Your thing. Music's your thing, man. More than mine, but obviously I've been around enough to have heard a lot of stuff. Let's see. Led Zeppelin may not be active as a band, but they inspired generations of bands and singer-songwriters besides the Beatles. I enjoyed when I was in high school. Led Zeppelin was a huge deal. We used to go to the planetarium because they would always do the light show to Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd, depending on the week. And that was always fun. We enjoyed that. Iron Maiden has good album cover art. Iron Maiden has good albums, at least up until Seventh Son. Let's see. Two of my favorite Beatles songs are I'm Only Sleeping and Run for Your Life. Favorite Beatles songs. While My Guitar Gently Sleeps is probably my favorite, I guess. I don't know. Did I say sweeps?
Then you said sleeps.
Sleeps. While my guitar gently weeps. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I had a mini stroke or something and I didn't know it. I'm messing up my words just as much as Fetterwoman. Let's see. Iron Spencer. We got Nirvana, Van Hagar. Nope. I like Van Halen, not Van Hagar. Hey, Patrick, man, you're doing good. I appreciate you're the one that's keeping the comics alive, so it's cool. But Yellow Submarine, that was a pretty decent song. But would you be up for doing a tier list of Beatle albums?
Wow, I like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I give them their due. I always tell people, I said, you may not like these people, but if it wasn't for Elvis, there'd be no Beatles. If it wasn't for the Beatles, there'd be no whatever you're listening to. If you're not listening to Bach or Beethoven, thank the Beatles. But like I said, I'm a Stones guy. And my problem with the Beatles, though, is I grew up on the Red and Blue Greatest Hits albums.
Yeah.
So I heard some of that. I mean, I've heard all the albums, but I don't know how accurately I could rank them. I mean,
Well, obviously, here's the thing about tier lists. I let the chat in on it as well. So most of the time, we're kind of pissed off about the way the tier lists come out, because you could say, "Oh, I love the White Album," and "Oh no, I love Abbey Road. I love what is it? Let It Be." So, but no, Let It Be. It doesn't even hold a candle to Let It Be Naked. You know, so you kind of get that going when you do live streams and tier lists and everything. Hey, boy.
Yeah, Zach just showed up in chat, said he likes the White Album.
Yeah, no, it's a good album. I do not care somewhat for some of the more experimental stuff, but otherwise, I think it really is a strong album. It's got some of their best songs.
Actually, Zach didn't really show up in chat.
Oh, he didn't? Oh, the White Album. Okay. I'm a little bit further back. I stopped on Dominic and Maranya saying if you rate the Beatles albums, you cannot count the Red and Blue albums as their
No, that's it. They were greatest hits, and I don't count greatest hits.
Basically, I would count from what was it? Please Me up to the White Album.
Can you count the Past Masters, which has all the stuff that from the British versions that didn't make the American versions?
No, I wouldn't do that.
So
that's too much work. What everybody would know is the regular album. So,
well, yeah, most people are gonna. Yeah, it's the top tier. More than likely is going to be Sgt. Pepper, Revolver, the White Album.
You know,
Rubber Soul.
That's not a bad thing, because that just says that everybody believes they got better as time went by.
Oh, they absolutely did.
That being said, some of the more catchy or pop tunes are on those earlier albums. You know, you get stuff like Twist and Shout and I Want to Hold Your Hand and all that kind of stuff from the earlier stuff. Well, it depends on where you would go. Okay, this is the bridge. This is early. This is like what do you think is the bridge album for the Beatles?
Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night?
Probably. Because I think that was when they stopped using any kind of covers and just did their own stuff from that point forward. I think I am by no means a Beatles expert, because I worked with one and I'm friends with another, and I never need to know all that stuff. If I need to know, I just go to them. They were walking Wikipedias, only accurate.
Okay. Let's see. We've got I Love White Snake there, second to Def Leppard. A couple of my favorite songs range from Looking Through You to Eleanor Rigby and Helter Skelter. I'd be happy to see the Ramones. That would have been cool. Are you old enough to have had a chance to see the Ramones? Dominic? Once again, I would love to have seen the Monkees. I never saw them. I've never seen AC/DC in concert either. I would have loved to have seen that. Let's see. I finally saw Billy Joel. And let's see, who else have I never seen? Surprisingly enough, I would never put Michael Jackson on that list. Isn't that weird? I mean, I am of the age that Michael Jackson was music god. You know, it's something. And it's nothing, man, it's like, oh, Michael Jackson, but I never had a desire. That's so weird.
Yeah, I saw the Ramones the night Clinton was elected.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced it during the show. And my God, you'd have thought the eruption in that place. It turns out, I didn't know this till years later, that the only people that weren't cheering were me and half of the Ramones. I found out later on that two of them were conservative.
Right.
But my God, you'd have thought they just cured cancer when we were at the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, I can see that. actually. I don't know, but the Kinks. The thing is, I wouldn't have cared when I was a kid. When I was a kid, the big hit was "Come Dancing." I thought it was okay, but when I gotta say I was about 17, and I went to a tape store, and I was looking for something I've never heard of before, and I was like, I heard of the Kinks, let's give them a try. So I bought this cassette box set, and it was like 4 or 5 tapes, and I started listening, and I was like, these guys are freaking brilliant. I really love the Kinks. They're just some weird music, and it just talked to me. I think retrospectively, I would have liked to have seen the Kinks as well.
Well, it's arguably my favorite band, not named the Rolling Stones, is the Jam.
Mm-hmm.
They got more of their influence early from the Kinks than anybody else, and they do a cover of David Watts, and I think they do another one. But yes, I mean, I am a huge Kinks fan as well.
Yeah, good stuff by them. Yeah. The worst opening act choice says Jim Sorensen was a country group opening for Alice Cooper. The weird thing is I bet Alice Cooper approved it because he is a quintessential musician. He loves good music and would probably have seen this and said, I want to share this good music with you, but wrong audience, guys. It's like, say, coming up with a best heavy metal category and then nominating and letting Jethro Tull win.
You're a Journey fan, right?
No, I love the greatest hits albums of Journey. I do not love the regular songs.
Okay, well, one of my favorite artists of all time is a guy named Graham Parker. He was a angry British. I would never say he was quite punk, but he got lumped in with Elvis Costello and Joe Jackson in the late 70s. He somehow ended up opening for Journey. And that made about as much sense as him opening for Leonard Skinner, which I think he also did at some point and got booed off stage. But it's just weird how those things can happen. How you can get somebody, there, 2 acts that are just so completely mismatched. Because there's very few fans of both of them.
I mentioned a band called the Verve Pipe, and they were very much a 90s grunge band at the time, and all of their songs were about how much life sucks. And look, I'm an 80s guy. Our songs were of excess, and sometimes we had very excessive songs. But the band they opened up for was Kiss in full makeup. So here I'm waiting for the greatest rock band of all time as you wanted the best, you got the best. And all the while they're just so fucking depressing. They even admitted it. They even said, I know some of these songs are too depressing for you, but I love the fact that we're up here opening for Kiss. I said, I know, because it's going to boost your career for maybe a second. I don't know.
They had one album. I don't even remember the title. I can picture it. And fortunately for them, that they released that pre-Napster and CD burning. So it sold multiple millions of copies, and I don't think they were ever heard from again.
Wow. Yeah. Like I said, as far as they are concerned, I love the song they did for Rockstar. Other than that, I don't know. Let's see. Destroyer Kinks. I love that. Paranoia will destroy you. Yeah, I love that one, man. Awesome. It's on a sunny afternoon. Yeah. Okay, I remember that. But the Celluloid Heroes really resonates with me. Ape Man is just way too catchy. I'm an ape man. I'm an ape man. Well, I'm an ape man. So yeah, I like that. Party Man by Prince for Batman 89. Men of Steel by Shaq for Steel. Milk Toast by Helmet for the Crow. My Immortal by Evanescence for Daredevil. I have a long list of comic movie songs. Holy crap, Dominic. You need to make a video. Seriously, that sounds awesome. You came up with some really good stuff. Sometimes when I'm put on the spot, I can't think of anything. I don't know if I've been watching I don't know if you guys have noticed my eyes are starting to get red. I don't know what's hit the air, but all of a sudden my allergies are being kicked off. Elton John has a great concert if you can still catch him. I was actually able to watch Elton John in concert. He was pretty damn good. And he did his entire freaking box set worth of hits, except for one. And it was literally the song that was the one that I was looking forward to, because for some reason at that time, Leave On just caught my attention. You know how you can hear an album, you can hear a song, and it doesn't do it for you, but then all of a sudden it's there. That's how Leave On was for me. I'd heard it before. It was good, but at that point in time, I was just listening to it a lot. A really good song is the one that he did not perform. But he did also do Show Must Go On, because it was very close to when Freddie Mercury died. So what you going to do?
By the way, I agree with you on Queen. Also, that 69 song is
in the year of 69, a simple year of volunteers. In
that was
the days
great song.
When the ship sailed out to a blue and sunny morn, a sweeter sight never seen. And the night, sorry.
Well, I did love it.
Yeah, I did like it, but now you ruined it, mother. Yeah. Let's see. Verve got sued by Stones for copyright on the Bittersweet Symphony. They sampled the Stones song without permission. Yeah, that can happen. I knew about the Ramones for a while after they says Dominic have disbanded. If they were resurrected, I would love to see them playing live in concert next to the
You would literally have to resurrect them, because most of them are the first name of that second band you mentioned.
Here's a question. Can you even call Leonard Skinner anymore?
No, I mean, but let me call God and see if I can speak to any of the members.
I know. Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's like how many parts of a Hemi can you replace before it's not a Hemi anymore, right?
Well,
there's so many of them have died and been replaced that, yeah, can you really call the Leonard Skinner anymore?
It'd be hard to after the plane crash. I mean, Ronnie Van Zant was Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
And shockingly, some of the members of his band were racist in real life.
That's a big shocker.
You know who was not, though?
Whom?
Ronnie himself.
Oh, okay.
There's a Hendrix story where Hendrix was showing him some guitar moves back, I guess, late 60s, obviously before Skinner had made anything. And, he said you should get one. He mentioned one of his band members. He goes, here, let him show you some stuff. And basically the guy wanted nothing to do with it and he used some language that we do not use. And Ronnie looked at him and said, well, you better hope some of that talent rubs off on you. He said it to his own band member.
That's funny.
That's my favorite Leonard Skinner story. I read that in do you know who Al Cooper is? With a K.
Oh, no.
Not Alice Cooper. Al Cooper.
I don't call him Al, Eric, but yeah, I know who Al Cooper is.
Arguably, I mean, just maybe one of the greatest, if you consider a sessions musician, but he had a really long, interesting career. He got called in to do some tracks on a Dylan record and had no idea what he was doing. They just said, well, we'll just fake it till we get caught, I guess. But wrote one of the few music biographies I've read, and that's where I got the Ronnie Van Zant Hendrix story. But I wish I could remember the name of the book, because it's very entertaining, and you'd know the names because this guy's been everywhere. And
yeah, I watched a documentary. I recommend to everybody. I forget the name though. Oh goodness, that's my memory for you. But it's all about a sessions group. It's all about a studio group. It's like they go and they talk to them. You got your guitarist, drummer, so forth, and you find out that these musicians are on damn near every classic album that you've ever heard of. Because Say again?
No, so Albert, he was the original lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Okay.
And creative differences, he ended up getting booted after the first album, which was called Child is Father to the Man, which was, you know, creatively infinitely better than anything they did after that, but they got a lot more commercially successful post him.
Man, I kind of want to play this thing, but I'm afraid of getting copyright claimed. Well, not claimed. Claimed is okay. They're just saying, okay, well, we're going to take some, if all of the money that this video makes, and let's face it, that ain't going to be much. So, but that Steven song, holy crap! I want to share it just for the bonkersness of it. And it was bonkers. It's a really out there song. Let's see. Punisher was one of the most underrated books from the early 90s. Eric and I talked about this, and we speak about it mostly with Lobo, to tell you the truth. But the Punisher was one of those characters who, in the 90s, freaking huge, man, everywhere. And then all of a sudden, no, not so much. He did his max run and then kind of disappeared. And now they want to, I mean, he's been around, of course, but not with the same reverence. And nowadays, of course, they're messing him up. He's got freaking flashy eyes. Why does he have superpowers? I have no freaking clue. He shouldn't have superpowers.
Because Jason Aaron sucks.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, the wreck is. You're talking about the Wrecking Crew? Is that the?
Yeah, the Wrecking Crew. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I've never seen that documentary, but I've been told by so many people that I need to. I should break down.
Is a music lover? Absolutely. I mean, I recommend it to everybody because it's very informative about the music and all that. But yeah, it was pretty damn good. Okay, how can I play this for you guys? Huh. Oh, I know. Excuse me, I was about to sneeze. Boom, boom. Oh, that's just us. I'm trying to find this song so I can play it for you guys, because I think you would get it. Is so freaking weird. It's a Alice Cooper song, and it's called Steven, and it's about a guy basically losing his mind. And it is some of the mind screwiest things that you'll ever see or ever hear. And I gotta say, this is the kind of thing that Alice Cooper built his reputation off of. If you listen to his music, in all honesty, it's a lot of it's just heavy metal. You know, I've heard worse. I've heard, you know, as far as content is concerned. But at the end, or I think it's in the end, you basically have him losing his mind, and it's just, I'm not gonna play because I'm not gonna get the thing, but yeah, really good stuff. Trivia for the panel: name 3 songs that mention Marvel comic characters in their lyrics. Hint: there are 5 songs that I know of.
Well,
oh goodness,
McCartney song, Magneto and Titanium Man.
Okay.
A small band nobody's ever heard of named the Pontiac Brothers had a song that mentioned I think Titanium Man also, but I'm sure that's not one of the 5 because, like I said, no one knows who they are. Yeah, it's so much easier to think of how many songs have used Superman, and you know.
Yeah, I know. That's what came to mind first for me too. I was like, yeah, oh no, wait.
Yes.
That's not what we're looking for here. All righty. Let's see. And what was just brought up is Weird Al Yankovic, which, by the way, the movie is out on Roku. If you want to check that out. They did a biography of Weird Al Yankovic, but as far as I know, they did it as a parody of biographies. So take that how you will. Where are my Weird Al Yankovic songs and albums? Where's my Weird Al Yankovic? I was going to show off because I literally have all of them, and I do think that's a brag. But did they get deleted somehow? What the fudge? I'm not finding them here, and they should be here. There's my Queens. Why am I missing every Weird Al Yankovic song and album?
You know, strangely enough, I'm not missing them at all.
You would if you had all of them. They're awesome. Shut up. Oh, wait. Maybe he's up at Al Yankovic.
See, kids, that's why people line up to appear with the England team. It's the way he treats his guests with such
damn
reverence.
straight. I'm like I'm like Billy Bob Thornton as the card player. I just yell at people as God damn it, put out that cigarette, you're messing my mind. Yeah, in Tombstone I'm talking about. Holy shit, I lost all
How did he know?
What?
How did you know?
I heard.
I was literally lighting this when you said
yeah,
that.
I heard you. I heard
okay,
you.
So you heard me. All right, so that,
yeah.
I'll say otherwise that was very clever.
Who is the Wrecking Crew? The Wrecking Crew are a set of studio musicians that would go around and play on different people's albums. And they've actually, as I said, in the movie, you see that they've played on a whole bunch of the greatest albums ever done. Does Iron Man by Black Sabbath count? That's awesome. I love that one. Favorite Black Sabbath song, Eric?
I always thought it was the Wrecker, Bulldozer, Pile Driver, and Thunderball.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Just to remind people what this channel used to be.
Oh yeah, we were talking about comics earlier, so here we go.
You know, I think I am not a big Black Sabbath fan. I mean, I've heard a lot of the bigger songs.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. I'm a greatest hits.
Do love the song Iron Man.
Okay, here's a question for the chat. Since we're talking music, why not? Is there a band that is really popular, but you believe you can get everything out of them if you only buy the greatest hits album? Like, you don't have to buy anything other than that. There's some artists, I believe, of course, let's just get everything. Of course, I'm older. So is Eric. We're born in the album era. If you're younger, you might be less inclined because you can pick and choose all of your songs. But is there somebody who you're like, no, I would never buy an album if it wasn't their greatest hits? And is there somebody who you literally have bought everything of? Like, which one would you brag that you have all of the albums of, Eric?
Warren Zevon.
Warren what?
Zevon.
Zevon. Okay.
Yeah, 99% of the people who know him for Werewolves of London, but yeah, he made Linda Ronstadt rich because he wrote songs like Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. He was a songwriter for years before he started recording on his own. He wrote songs for the Turtles.
Oh, wow. He's been around a bit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, he ignored his health until it was too late and died in 2003. But he's one of the few guys that I was listening to as a kid. And for context, I loved Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. The last several things they did, as they got older, as a collective, I had just no interest in whatsoever. Warren Zevon's music, I liked all the way up to the end, and he's really about the only artist that went from my childhood into my 40s and 50s that I can say that about.
Okay. You mentioned Journey. I think they're a greatest hits band. I tried listening to their other music, but it just didn't take.
Oh, that's awful.
Same with REO Speedwagon. Love their greatest hits. I think they're awesome, but didn't care for anything else.
Yeah, I think you find that, and I don't mean this to be my usual snarky self when we talk music.
Mm-hmm.
I think you find that with a lot of arena bands.
Well, you're like that with Styx.
Arena rock. No,
yeah.
I give you crap about Styx because it's fun.
Yeah.
And it gets you going, and that's fun also. But I do think there's more to them than the REO and Journey. I mean, some people would argue that, but I think I think the musicians in Styx are tremendously talented. It's just not my
Right.
style of kind of music, and you know, it's. But I think a lot of bands, like I said, a lot of bands were big in the '70s that played in. I said you filled up the arenas. I don't think anybody was ever upset that they never strayed from the radio cuts, so to speak, because that's really the rest of it. A lot of albums had a lot of filler tracks.
Yeah, they really did. I know you're probably not going to appreciate the comparison, but one of the reasons why I like Styx and Queen is because they had 3 or 4 writers each. In the Styx case, they had 3. In Queen's case, I think I think they had 3 as well. And they would write completely different songs. Not just like his style was different than his style, but they would write heavy metal kind of hard rock song, a vocal harmonial song, a song that sounded like it doesn't even belong on a rock album. I go off to work on Sunday morning. Tuesday I go off to honeymoon. Yeah, that is a song that's on the same album as Bohemian Rhapsody. And I like the same thing about Styx. They had their different styles, and sometimes they would even cross genres. At one point, they did a song that sounded like an Italian folk song on a mandolin. So I kind of like that eclectic sound. Like you can get something different from all of them. I mean, obviously, sometimes you want a Jim Steinman who basically writes the same songs eight times for an album. But sometimes you just need something that's going to change up on the ear a couple times.
Yeah, if you're not doing a concept album, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And I agree. Mm-hmm. If you've ever listened to the Small Faces, they would do things like that also. But it's weird. You mentioned Styx and then Queen.
Yeah,
I've never been a Styx fan, but I love Queen. And I'm wondering and you love them both. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering what the difference is to where both hit with you and only one hits with me.
Well, I would say this because I've heard people like I watched a video. One guy asked, "So why do you think that Queen has been relevant for the last 40 years?" And he mentions this because he was talking about the hits on Spotify, how many clicks, how many people are listening to it, and Bohemian Rhapsody is the highest watched classic rock song. And I said, well, step one, have the greatest singer of all of time of rock and roll of all time. That works. I mean, I think the respect Freddie Mercury has almost outshines Queen. So just having Freddie Mercury in there, it's like Tom Brady moving to the Bucks. He stands out, kids, no matter where he's going. Let's see. Jim is saying Foreigner for the greatest hits, or 4 is all you need. Let's see. Guns N' Roses for J.P. Fawn. Most everything after the first album wasn't that good. He's right. All the albums for Fleetwood Mac says Glenzer. And, I lost it. Here it is. And the greatest hits, fine, Beach Boys.
No.
I knew that one would get you.
No, only because Pet Sounds is as good an album as anybody's ever made.
Yeah, I saw this movie. It came out a few years ago. It stars John Cusack. Can't quite remember the movie. Look it up if you want. I recommend it to anybody who enjoys music. But it's basically Brian Wilson's story. And it's so good. And it made me so appreciate a lot more of their music. But for as much as I liked Good Vibrations, after I saw what he went through to put it together, I love that song now. I mean, that movie made me love that song more. Bragar saying Fleetwood Mac missed an opportunity to come out with their own brand mac and cheese company.
Now, what was interesting about Pet Sounds was that album damn near drove Brian Wilson insane. Some would argue it did.
Yeah.
And basically at the same time, the Beatles just rolled out of bed and did Sgt. Pepper's. And that was so frustrating for Brian Wilson to realize how hard it was for him to do that and how effortless it seemed to be for the Beatles.
I'm going to back him up, though. If it even shows this in the movie, he wrote that song. The guys came in after and filled in vocals. He wrote the songs.
Yeah.
And the Beatles wrote the Beatles songs. So it's one guy, four guys.
Oh, well, 2.5.
Yeah, okay.
They didn't let Ringo near the important stuff.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden. Oh, Ringo.
And honestly, I think the Beatles could have maybe even been better if they'd let George do more. You know, we'll never know now, obviously, but
yeah.
But and personally, like I said, I think Pet Sounds, for myself, is better. I like that more than any individual Beatles album. But I remember there's nothing else that the Beach Boys did that's in the ballpark with, say, like the next 4 or 5 Beatles albums I would put after that. So, I mean, creatively, and I say that about the Stones. I mean, I like the Stones better than the Beatles. Creatively, it's not even close. I mean, there's the Beatles and there's everybody else. That's just, it's as close to fact as you can get in something that is supposedly subjective.
I think so. Jim Sorensen saying for the Beatles, you only need the White Album, Abbey Road, and Sgt. Pepper. Shh. He's falling asleep. Everybody.
Okay. That doesn't work on a live stream.
I know, right?
He rolls the dice. He takes your chances.
That's right. He is going to back him up like Megan the Stallion backed it up on that one show. Wait, what?
That's who She-Hulk twerked with.
Yeah. Did people who used to actually buy whole albums with songs they don't like on them? Wow, what a concept. Yeah, we did. Another question. Your favorite band's worst song? Everybody. Yeah, that's for everybody. Blues versus the Grassroots. Moody Blues versus the Grassroots. Who was better? I couldn't tell you what the Grassroots did. In all honesty. Yeah. Moody Blues. Didn't they do White Satin?
Yeah, they...
Well, at least they got one song I can name.
No, you would recognize about 3 years before they got orchestral, they had a song in the mid-'60s called Go Now.
Did they do Green Grass and High Tides?
That's the Outlaws.
Outlaws. Okay. Outlaws also did...
hey, everybody, the hot girls are here.
Woo! They also did Ghost Rider in the Sky, the Outlaws, right? An old...
I can't remember if that was them or if that was New Riders of the Purple Sage. I can't remember, honestly, on that one.
On the wood,
I know the song, but
the way. The whole album Metallica did after the Black Album is the worst. Saint Anger is the one you're talking about, by the way. Worst song by your favorite band. Styx, and now this is early Styx. This is before Tommy Shaw joined them. But they did a cover of Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It was so bad. It was horrible bad. I don't like that. It's definitely my worst, the worst song Styx ever did. It's an actual bad song. David Bowie dancing in the streets, Africa, California, Utah, or whatever it was. And then they go on and they sing. Do you ever see that freaking video? It's one of the cheesiest pieces of shit. It really was. That the dances in the street with David Bowie and Mick Jagger sucked.
Yeah, well, that they have cash grabs in music too.
Yeah, they do. The dancing, it was almost like the Batusi. It's really bad. Oh, now I can do it. The bird left, dude. They dance like this. So, oh my gosh, how horrible was that? That was some bad stuff.
Tell you what, though, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody that was more talented across the board than Bowie.
I would not argue with that. I'll tell you what, as far as Bowie's concerned, Life on Mars to me. That's way up here. I love Life on Mars. That's a great song. Okay, come on.
And he produced an Iggy Pop album called The Idiot.
Yeah.
And wrote China Girl for that album, and then ended up doing it himself 10 years later on Let's Dance. But that was, God, that everybody says they love the Stooges. I liked the Stooges, but I always thought they were kind of a tad overrated. And then, when Iggy went solo, it like one of his albums, I said Bowie was just very, very involved with, and it's the best thing that he'd ever done. And so not only was he talented in his, in his own music, he could make other people, better, in my opinion, which that's not always easy to do.
Yeah, he was that one. And as much as I like Space Oddity, wait, that was him, right?
Yeah.
Ground Control. That was the name of the song, right? Space Oddity. He did it was almost a sequel song called Ashes to Ashes.
Ashes to Ashes, something,
Ashes to Ashes, fun to funky. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out on heaven's something, living an all-time low.
Yeah, his early career, I thought, was damn near flawless. Anything really after, for me, anything after Let's Dance, and Let's Dance was kind of because I was, young. MTV had just come into prominence, and that album had several videos on it, so it's kind of a right place, right time thing. And I know he did a lot of good stuff after that, but it just never really, to me, I'm fine with listening to the first half of his career.
Do you know the David Bowie Monkeys in connection?
I will tell me what it is, and I will tell you if I
okay.
didn't.
Here's the thing. David Bowie is not his real name. His real name is
Jones.
David Jones. But because Davy Jones of the Monkees was on the music scene before he had to change his name. He had to change his professional name. So he chose
I have
Bowie.
heard that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was after the knife, though, which I would think would be awesome. Like, he's like, you know what? I saw this knife in America, and I want to be named after that. I think that would kind of be awesome. No?
Now,
Okay.
do you remember the Saturday Night Live when he had just gotten married, and the Weekend Update announced goes, and in society news, David Bowie married a man. Him on.
Yeah. Damn, she was hot.
Yes,
Disturbed did a cover of This Is the World We Live In. It was bad. I used to like them a lot back in the early aughts. I liked their one. What was it? What was that song they did? Down with the Sickness, right? Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
I wouldn't know a Disturbed song if
come on, get down with the sickness. I was doing the Richard Cheese version of it, by the way, that was on the zombie movie soundtrack. Richard Cheese is a lounge singer who used to do lounge versions of.
I remember that name well.
Yeah, I had a couple of his albums. The one that just made me freaking laugh was he goes, "Here's one for the ladies, rape me." And then there was one, he goes, "You can dome in the evening, you can dome in the night, you can, Richard, you can dome any," and he goes, Richard, what? It's Doomy. And then it's like silence, and all you hear is, "Fuck you." It was fun. Obviously, just silly stupidness. But, yeah, he did that one. It was, he did Down with the Sickness for, you can hear it in the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead. It's a lot of fun. A lot of stuff. A lot of fun there. I'd say Big Love is Fleetwood Mac's worst, says Jim Sorensen. Perfect Circle's covered of What's Going On. Did he have a locker where he left his beating heart in? Actually, yeah, that is one thing that Davy Jones, both of them, had to have. He could have just called himself the real Davy Jones.
I will be right back in 1 minute. I'm going to go grab another Coke.
David Bowie's name change was for the same reason as Michael Keaton. Oh, yeah, Michael Douglas, right? Yeah. Amon was hot. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And it was really something. You know, it wasn't just David Bowie. Rick Ocasek. He got a supermodel too, and she's like, "Oh, he's just so sexy to me." And I'm like, "Are you seeing? So, what are we missing when we look at Rick Ocasek that you're seeing here?" But hey, go figure. You know, if they could pull, there you go. Basically, everybody in the military during my generation heard Disturbed. It was like a mission montage music, says Rhaegar. Damn. Oh, goodness. I don't know where to go from here. Obviously, my wife's home, so the bird's now with him, with her. But awesome on that. Let's see. Disturbed. Who was the one that did the witches thing? No, that was Rob Zombie. Dig through the ditches, burn through the witches, slammed in the back of my Dragula. That one. Let's see. Basically, okay, I read that. Love is Blind. Thank God for that, or I never would have been married. It's true. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why and how she puts up. But yeah, there you go. I'm like said, their bank accounts. That's oh yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I don't know. This is the age of the supermodel with Amon and what was her name? Cindy Crawford. There were some big money making models back in the day. But yeah, I guess they show up and they hook up with the lead singer of the Cars, and I don't know. It still happens. I don't know. Let's see. Who was the better showman, Elvis or MJ? I never saw either one of them in concert, so I can't really answer that. I don't know. Elvis or MJ? From what I've seen, I would give it to MJ. I would give it to Michael Jackson. I'm not saying Michael Jackson's better than Elvis. There's a lot of love for Elvis as well as Michael Jackson. But yeah, I might have to go with Michael Jackson for that. I don't know. Rob Zombie or Marilyn Manson? Neither, but Marilyn Manson, I always at least thought put an effort into it. I don't know. I'm pissing off the Rob Zombie fan. But yeah, Marilyn Manson, at least for his image and everything, I got a sense that he put an effort into it. Although I get a sense from Rob Zombie that if you went and talked to him at his house, what he puts forward is what you're going to get. So I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for. Like an entertainer, I would probably go with Manson. But for a person, yeah. I think Michael Jackson touched more people than Elvis. God, I read that out serious, didn't I? It took me a while. I was like, wait, okay. Yeah. That's a good one, Rhaegar. Oh, goodness. That was silly and stupid. So thank you. I feel silly and stupid for falling for it. Awesome you. Anywho.
Did you answer MK's question about better showman?
Yeah, who would you say?
Elvis.
Elvis? And why would you say that?
Because he did it first. I said again, I don't know. A lot of these people that have come along and been master showmen like a Michael Jackson, Elvis kind of like set it up for everybody. I mean, hell, there were people that wouldn't film him from the waist down.
Yeah, that's true.
And
he,
he made how many movies? I mean, he was, like I said, he was just probably, because I've had people debated greatest individual entertainer in music history, Frank or Elvis. And I like Frank's music better, but Elvis to me is probably the.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I love a bunch of movies too, but
I love Frank Sinatra. But yeah, Elvis was a lot bigger.
And Elvis, I don't know if I would say that because
no, I don't mean bigger as in more popular. I mean bigger. Like if you watch an Elvis concert versus a Frank Sinatra concert,
yeah,
all the stops are taken as far as Elvis is concerned. See, now I was thinking concert, and I have seen, I saw the movie and all that kind of stuff with what Michael Jackson puts in, and he goes big too. But I would say this to your point, Elvis did all of it with less. They just didn't have what Michael Jackson had. So you could argue that as well. But as far as music, I will pick almost any of the Rat Pack before I pick Elvis. So yeah, I'm a Rat Pack fan. I like that music. I like vocal jazz. I like the vocal standards of the time. It's just great stuff. If you listen to, like, if I make a mixtape or mix CD or something to listen to in the car, it is incredibly eclectic. It's not like it's going to be heavy metal, Disney tunes, 1940s, so for jazz and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Glinzer's bringing up Chuck Berry, and yes, unfortunately for Chuck Berry, it was not the right. It was the wrong time. That said,
it goes to show you never can.
Even though there was nothing cooler than watching Chuck Berry go across the stage when he would do that thing where his knees were bent and he was just bouncing off the ball or the toes of his. Elvis had unmatched charisma. I'm about to tell you, did he have half of Chuck Berry's musical talent? Absolutely not. But he had it. He was Johnny Bravo long before Greg Brady. If you get that reference.
Yeah.
Because nobody fit the suit better than Elvis. And I said it was he was a once in a lifetime performer. And it's a shame that he was never allowed to do what he wanted to do, because he didn't want to do all those movies where he's basically playing himself. He finally got to do a drama, I think, where he played a doctor opposite Mary Tyler Moore. I don't even know if it made it to VHS. It apparently was not a very good movie. But he at least got to do it one time. But Colonel Parker would not let him stray from what the people wanted. And I can't imagine anything being more frustrating as a performer, whether you have the ability or not to even get the chance. Like, he might have wanted to write his own songs. I said, no, Elvis. And I'm sure that led to a lot of, if all you have to do is show up and be Elvis, that probably was what led to all the time that was spent doing recreational drug use.
Okay. I got a confession to make. It's just something I realized that it had been an absence in my life, and that I did not notice. I swore up and down that I had seen Viva Las Vegas. Never saw it before. Like, wait a second. I don't think I've ever seen. And so I put it on just last year for the very first time. And I got to tell you, the music in that is just hands down awesome. That is some of the best I have heard from Elvis. I love that movie. I watched it. I was like, okay, I got to start watching all of these films. They are not all good, ladies and gentlemen. But they're fun. They're simple films, and they're stupid fun. But yeah. Eglinton has John Cage's 433rd on his soundtrack. I have no idea. I'm guessing John Cage is Mortal Kombat. For a while, I had the theme song, Mortal Kombat. I guess you guys aren't ready for the quote. Eddie Murphy had a classic skit on Elvis movies in Delirious. Too bad comedy is dead today. Yeah, unfortunately. I remember Delirious, and I remember I was a projectionist for the next one. Raw. That was what it was called. It's called Raw. Yeah. Was the Elvis movie good? The Viva Las Vegas was. Blue Hawaii was fine.
I think about the Elvis movie that just came out about them. Wasn't there just a recent movie about Elvis?
Yeah. Elvis. Yeah. Baz Luhrmann directed, so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. But you're talking about Too Bad Comedy's Dead now. What I didn't realize was that it was alive until Elon Musk killed it last week. See, I thought it'd been dead for years.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's what all the lefties are whining about. They're saying comedy's dead because he permabanned Kathy Griffin for changing her name to Elon Musk, which apparently
she committed fraud.
Right, which basically
is what she did.
You would have gotten banned under Jack Dorsey too. But they're all saying comedy's dead now. Elon killed it.
People have insulted Elon Musk and have not been removed. She committed fraud. Right. That is a completely different thing. As far as what's going on, I don't know if I have an opinion on it. I think it's really cool he took over. I don't know what it means. I don't know his mind. We're all hoping that he follows through on his free speech stuff, and at the very least, we'll have the same voice. Even though nothing has changed, we've seen a lot of bad actors jump on and shout out the N-word and all that kind of stuff. I have a feeling that it's mostly people who want to make this look bad, who are on the left, because we've seen that so many times. All those attacks on Black people, Hispanic people, so forth and so on after Trump was elected, were committed by Black people and Hispanic people trying to make Trump look bad. And so I have this feeling that a lot of the people are jumping on Twitter now and shouting out racial slurs and all that is in fact people who say, hey, look, we're going to do this to show you how bad it can be. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah.
4 minutes 33 is actually 4 minutes and 33 seconds of straight out silence with a full orchestra sitting. It's basically postmodernist nonsense. We had to listen and discuss it. Okay, so this is the same in art classes, looking at a blank canvas saying, what do you think of this work of art? Which I, of course, would fail because I would say it looks like it's not finished. I'm very much like that. No, I'm sorry. There is no song that is 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. That's not a song. It's not art. That's what I'm sorry. I would have failed your art class. You know what? I failed an exam. I was taking film and business in college, and I didn't finish, by the way. But one of the questions that they asked, you had to figure out how to sign your name on a contract. And what happens is supposedly you're in this room. You have a seat, a table, the contract, and a lamp. The guy says, well, I'll know your answer when I come back. If your name's on the contract, you're good. If it's not, I understand. Okay, fine. So everybody's racking their freaking brains. Now, I'm this kind of thinker. Everybody's racking their brains to come up with shit, and they're talking about, oh, I'll cut my thumb with a light bulb, and I'll use the filament, and it'll cause ink, and I'll write my name. And my answer was very simple. I'll wait for the guy to get back. Hey, you never left me a pen, and I want to do this deal. Can I borrow your pen real quick? There, and he told me I failed. But that's my way of thinking. I couldn't sit through that. The other test that I actually passed because I was just being snarky was in my philosophy class. They asked why. I went, why not? And I handed it in, and that was the right answer. I was just being an ass. So why not here? And there were people who wrote. They were just writing. You know, it's like they were writing their freaking memoirs. But what ended up happening, the reason why not is the right answer to that question is because it's the only thing that can't bring up the question why. So if you say because of this and this and this, well, why because of this and this and this? But if you say why not, it ends the sentence. It ends the conversation. All right. So Ash is sniping your stream, just so you know. Ash?
Yeah, he does that. He does thing every Monday at midnight.
He's sniping. So does that mean they're watching this stream and they could come on the stream? You know what? They're probably doing their thing and they're waiting for you guys to go on over and enjoy their reading or their review or something like that. We can call it Austin. He did not stripe stream. He briefly showed. Oh, by the way, I don't care. Ash is a friend of the channels. If he's watching this stream over there, by all means, I'm not going to be like, grr, you. Yeah, no, I don't care. Let's see. That was most of my answers. It's not art, and I used to stir up a lot of debates in class because I would start up with an unpopular take, read, not progressive. Imagine that. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I took a bunch of philosophy classes as a major. Most of the classes, people are afraid to use common sense and just say what. My problem, I dropped out of the philosophy class because I realized they were trying to tell me how to think or what to think about things. And I didn't like that. I wanted to go through life figuring out what I think about things. I see a lot of people, and I've read philosophy since then. It was a hobby of mine. My poolside reading was psychology and philosophy for a while. But the thing is I never wanted to be one of those guys where, well, Plato said, I don't care. I want to know what you said. It might be like what Plato said. Fine, sure. But I want to know what I say about that. Maybe it's my arrogance or my conceit that I'm going to have an original thought that hadn't been thought in the last billion years. But that was the way I approached it. I liked it for a little bit, but in all honesty, it's almost like if you read a philosopher's thoughts on something, it might actually color your experience. And I didn't want that for my life. So I dropped that until I became more understanding of who I was as a person. And that, I would probably say that took I think, what was it? I listened to this guy. I forget what it was, but it was a radio announcer. And he kind of opened stuff up, which is kind of weird because I wouldn't read philosophy for this. But it wasn't so much what I was afraid of as I'm being told how to think. It just realized this person put my thought into a sentence. And it was this: I will always err on the side of freedom. And that kind of woke up who I was. I realized I don't get affected by who you are. I've worked at theme parks for way too long to be surprised at people as far as who they are and what they are. Obviously, I still do get that way sometimes, but I had met so many people from so many different countries, so many different kinds of people with so many different looks. I've met somebody with a conjoined twin. I've met somebody who was varicose veined all over their body. So the looks of people don't really surprise me too much. Sometimes they do, but overall, I've seen it. I've talked to it. I've met it. And my ultimate philosophy on the entire thing is, no matter our mistakes, we have to make sure that when we make an error, we make an error on the side of freedom. There you go. That is, so there you go. I don't know what to say after that.
Good night.
I guess, yeah. Let those kids go do their reading. Let me get a couple more. Rhaegar says, I took a bunch of philosophy classes as the major. Most of the classes people are, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I read that one. Fair enough, but that word has a negative connotation too. Oh, I get it. I get it with the sniping. Don't worry about the sniping, especially with Ash, with RDV. They are welcome friends to all of it. Do you like AMC or Teagle or some other third-party theater best? Well, right now I've got a Mom and Pops around the corner, and I like them because they've been around this neighborhood for as long as I can remember. I've been living in and around Orlando for 52 years, and they've been there. So I like the fact that they really do keep a clean theater. It doesn't smell like mildew like a lot of dollar theaters are, and they treat their customers, they treat them like guests, and I appreciate that. It's called the West Orange 5 here in Ocoee. I'm in Gotha. They're in Ocoee. It's like, here's the border. It's one of those things. So I prefer that. AMC is fine, except for they're more expensive. Every summer they raise their prices, and I don't care for that. I used to work for Cinemark, and I used to work for General Cinema, and I used to work for United Republic. I don't even think Republic is the United Film Theater line is even in business anymore. But yeah, they're fine. They're fine. Let's see. My problem free philosophy is Hawkins Matata. Let's see. Alrighty. So
it's actually Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Yes.
Damn
yes.
autocorrect.
Hakuna Matata. Yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah. And another piece of philosophy that I follow, I learned from an Alfred Hitchcock film. Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. That is it. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And thank you for Eric jumping on for the musical portion. Robert for jumping on to talk about some comics and everything. And thanks for hanging out with us. You know what? I do want to get a tier list together. And I think it's Ahsoka has been saying, let's do a tier list. And the one that I want to do, Eric, if you're free tomorrow, I want to do a tier list of the Batman stories. If that would be kind of cool. Like Strange Apparitions and I can't remember anything else because I blanked, Death of the Family and so forth and so on. But I think that would be kind of cool. I'll try to put it together in time to do a live stream tomorrow. Otherwise, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Check back here tomorrow, 9 o'clock-ish, and we'll have some fun with some Batman stories or something. Either way, once again, if you don't mind helping out the channel, Maranya shared out the Ko-Fi address, and it's also in the link below. Thank you very much to everybody who's already done that, to leave a tip in the tip jar, and to everyone else, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, kids.
I kind of flubbed the end.